Here we go. So we will very quickly, let me see if I can do this, pull up Grack so everyone can see, and we'll just run through this together on the stream. We'll level up this boy. There we go. Character Mancer. You guys are now level 6, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to roll for his HP, so hopefully he doesn't get like 1. He got 4. Okay.
I always take the average, man.
I do too, but for this NPC, I figured it would be fun to roll for it just to see. Maybe we'd get lucky and you guys would get a big boost from him getting a bunch of extra health, but it was the opposite.
It's like a boost.
Oh, well.
That's all right. He's still up to like 57 or something. Yeah, pretty good. Ability score increase. Because he is a fighter, he gets another one of those, so that's pretty good. So I think we're going to just go +2 in his strength and get him up to a +4.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Yeah, our health reset from that the kissy.
Yes, so since you guys leveled up, I'll just count it as you guys took like a long rest and you leveled up with all of your experience from the dungeon. So the maximum health debuff thing that you guys got resets on a long rest. So consider yourself healed.
Cool.
Oh, thank God. That would have been so annoying.
Yeah, Grack, the guy that we're leveling up right now, he was at like permanent 16 maximum health, so he would have been dead.
Yeah, I was at 19.
Yeah, that's
Bad vampire.
definitely dangerous. Yeah, vampire plus kelpies. So cool. Yeah, you guys have been doing really good. That vampire, I don't know how much you guys know about the way that like combat encounters are balanced in D&D. They have like a challenge rating based on the level of the party, and the monster that you fight, its challenge rating should be equal to like the level of your party. So if you have 4 level 5 characters, you could fight like a CR5 monster. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So the challenge rating of one like adult vampire is like 11 or 12 or something like that. So one vampire should be able to like kick the asses of like a low level party. But you guys did pretty good, and you actually got there, so I'm pretty impressed.
Well, you said vampire. I thought, oh dear.
Yeah, they're like super strong, but I think in 5th edition, just like naturally the way things work out with parties fighting like one enemy, like just because you guys get to take so many more actions and more turns, like you're naturally just going to be able to fight stronger things than is balanced in the game. So you can throw some pretty powerful monsters at low level parties. It's pretty cool. It makes it more fun because you can be like doing a low level campaign and still get to see some of the cooler, more badass monsters, you know, vampires and dragons and stuff like that.
Do you remember what my max health was?
What your max health was?
Yeah, before the fight.
Ooh, I do
I
not.
want to say it was 36, but
let me see.
Sure.
42.
42. Was that what it was?
That
I have 42 written in here, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So I'm just looking on your character sheet. It says 42. I would imagine you can just go with that if you want to, as that seems right to you.
All right, cool. That's fine then.
Okay. I think that seems about right for what your class is and everything. Grack, his is 57, and he's a fighter, and he has like a larger hit die than you. So I think somewhere in the 40s is fine with me. Whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Azula, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy some D&D. Thanks for the lurk, Flim. All right, guys. So, anybody remember what exactly you guys got up to in this room last time? You came in and fought a couple of kelpies and some shenanigans ensued. We can just start right off from here. What do you guys want to do?
You guys do up the stairs?
That sounds good to me.
So as you look around this room, you can see the pathway that you came in on that's kind of like just goes around the edge of the room and is broken in that one spot. Leads up to this stairway, and you can't really see much past that. So you guys want to head out to the staircase?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So you gather your things and take a rest in this room and level up. And Grack got his sword from underneath the muck where he threw it at the Kelpie, and continue on. You make it to the staircase. Let me make sure I've got everything pulled up here. Okay, 1 second. Okay, I remember. All right, so you get into this hallway. The staircase goes up and goes into just another singular, like tunnel-like hallway, and you can see in front of you a large metal door, and on all around the door there's like this kind of like a lip that goes all the way around it, so the door can't be pulled open towards you. It only opens towards the way that you're going. It's like almost looks like a big like reinforced blast door type of a thing.
Which say it is still going back.
You inspect the door, and it seems like it won't have a problem opening it all. It doesn't seem to be stuck or anything like that, but it only opens the one way. Like it's a push door from the way that you're facing, and if you're on the other side, you would only be able to pull it open, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Got it.
So you guys get up to it, and when you inspect the door, you feel it's kind of warm. Like the big iron like blast door has a little bit of heat radiating off of it.
I don't think this is a good idea to go this way.
Can we check any other way first before we go this way?
You're more than welcome to.
I'm gonna go look at this other door here.
Yeah.
Okay. So are you talking about this thing to the like down and right here?
Right at the top of the stairs.
So
Okay.
when you look down that way, you see this like there's not a door there. You inspect the wall and you see that there's like almost like a cave opening at the base of the wall that you would have to like get down and crawl through, and it's covered in this same sludge that was like in the water where the kelpies were at.
Well, this looks disgusting.
I mean, we're already full of it, so
It's maybe about like 3 feet tall, like a little like under a road, like the drainage tunnels, like in like 80s movies that kids would like go and explore inside the tunnels,
Yeah.
It's like that.
Does it like? Can I see like a visible like ending? Like, can I see that there's like another room or like a light, or do I just see like darkness?
Make a perception check.
Okay. Let's see.
You guys all have dark vision, right?
I do.
yeah, something
Okay.
like that.
So yeah, the darkness is not an issue for you guys. It's just if you can make anything out in this muck, and with how limiting the sight is in this tunnel with its being so short and whatnot. How are you checking? Are you like peeking in, or are you just looking from the outside?
I'm just kind of sticking my head in and just doing a kind of like 180 just to look around. And
Sure.
see what's
So you like stick
there.
your head in the little tunnel opening, and you can see it goes on for quite a ways, and you can see it looks like a slight reflection of like metal in the distance, but it's really faint, and there's a little bit of light coming from it at the end. But a few feet down, there is like a right turn that seems to be going back towards the way that you came from, and it's just like deeper and deeper like muck and water in the bottom of the tunnel.
Maybe we can throw the hammer and see what it sees.
I mean, we can always just send Grack in.
Yeah. I mean, it's been through a lot.
He had a good sleep.
Grack will do whatever you guys want.
Hey, Grack, you want to check out this cool water slide?
He like stands there and he looks at the big blast door, and then he looks at the little tunnel, and he's like, I guess if that's what you guys want me to do.
Yeah, get in there.
And he's like, all right, well, since I am the leader of this group, and he gets down on like his hands and knees and he starts to crawl through there. And he gets to the intersection that is about where you can see like the page split on the map here on the screen.
Yeah.
And he turns back to you guys and he says, I can go straight or I can go to the right. And he looks down to the right, and he's explaining all this to you, and it just goes downhill, and then it like goes to a pool of water, and there's some light, and he can see that it kind of just is like an escape from the last room that you were in, and it's like an underground like secret back entrance to that room where the Kelpies must have been connected to this tunnel from. And then he says, in front of him, he explains what he sees when you saw the metal reflecting light earlier, Flack.
Okay.
He sees in front of him, like, if you guys know when you go to like the town fair or a carnival or something, those fun houses, when there's the big like cylindrical hallway that is like rotating. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
Like a big tunnel that you have to walk through at the carnival that's like the whole
Rotates,
Yeah.
thing is moving.
Yeah.
Disney when we get out. Yeah.
So it's this giant metal hallway that is rotating,
That's
and
spinning.
it's full of muck. Yeah, it's like this big spinning hallway, and it's just like big metal thing. And at the end of it, he explains maybe 20, 30 feet down, he can see a room, or what looks like a room with some light, but it's a little bit hard to see, and it's this giant metal rotating cylinder of a hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess let's go, guys.
Yeah, just follow them in. It's the worst that can happen, other than us getting seasick.
It's muck sick.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I've already kissed a Kelpie. I don't really care.
I mean, like, what's gonna happen to us? Like that muck gets on us?
It's pretty good.
Greg's been drowned, so.
You guys have a positive mental attitude. I love it. So you guys crawl in after him and head towards the rotating hallway?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, let me see what it says. Okay, and the hallway is painted with a black and white spiral, and it's very dizzying and hard to see where you're trying to walk. You get to the tunnel. You're in the little crawl space of a tunnel, and you get to the spiral rotating cylinder, and it opens up, so you have enough room where you can stand up now, and you stand up onto the cylinder, and it's really hard to like keep your bearings. And let me see here. I guess I'll move the map a little bit more this way so you guys can all see everything. Okay. Cool. Now, so as soon as you guys get into the rotating hallway, you take your first, like, you both have to like stand up out of your like all fours little crawl space and get your bearings all at the same time. So when you all emerge into the cylinder, I need you all to make an acrobatics check for me.
Oh dear.
16, 12. Oh yes, Grack must also do this. He rolled a 14. What is Grax acrobatics? Probably not good. Oh, he's got a +5. Wow. 19. Yeah, he's, for how dumb he is, he can kind of control his body. All right, you guys all passed. It's not too difficult. It's pretty slippery, and you see this muck kind of sloshing around on the bottom. And the more you look at it, you can see that the muck, like when the cylinder like spins and rotates, the muck, like when it goes up the side, it slides back down into the bottom, but it's leaving this like coating of like an oily substance all throughout the cylinder. And you get about halfway through, and you're trying to like kind of walk yourself through it, and you're all trying to keep your balance, and occasionally you'll slip in the oily mud covered cylinder and fall down and catch yourself, and it takes you a good couple of minutes. It's like a long, maybe 20-30 foot hallway, and when you get about halfway through, you can see into a room on the other side, and the light begins to be more apparent, and you can see what looks like a guard stationed at the end of the hallway on the solid ground. And this guard, as soon as he sees you're about halfway through this tunnel, he launches an arrow that's lit on fire into the tunnel.
Oh no.
That bastard.
And the tunnel begins to just be engulfed in this like swirling vortex of flame, and you are all like scrambling to get out of there, and it's going to be a little bit of a mini skill challenge. So I need you all to give me your idea for how you would like to escape the rotating tunnel of flame.
Could I have deflected that missile instead?
You can try. Let's see. All right. So let's say he's shooting this fire arrow. What would you like to try to do?
Well, I have a skill, deflect missiles.
Okay. How does it work?
Starting at 3rd level, you can use your reflex reaction to deflect or catch a missile. If hit by a ranged attack, if you were hit by a ranged attack, I guess that wouldn't really count for this.
How do you like if you get hit with a ranged attack? Do you have to do something, or does you just automatically deflect it? Let me see. That's cleric. You are clack. Deflect missiles. The damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch it and hold it in one hand. Okay, so I like this. So let's say you saw this guy, and he like dips his arrow into this torch and lights it, and is launching it and trying to light the surrounding cylinder on fire here. So I will make him make an attack roll, and if his attack roll like successfully hits, I'll say that he shot it in a way that it was like gonna hit the cylinder, and if he misses, I'll say that you were able to catch it and cancel out his attack.
Cool.
So he rolled a 10. So you caught this flaming arrow, and you are trying to balance yourself, and you like use your monk-like focus and discipline, and you reach up and catch this arrow, and now you are like holding the flaming arrow in one hand, and you're trying to walk through and balance yourself at the same time. So now you make another acrobatics check to see if you can like hold your balance and not drop this arrow and end up lighting the thing on fire anyways.
Don't hate me, guys.
Try to give you a chance to do what you wanted to do. 16, yeah, you totally do it. You reach up and catch this thing like Matrix style, and instantly you realize what could go wrong here if you slip. So you kind of like snuff off the flames with your other hand really quickly and toss the arrow down. And you guys charge out of the other end of the cylinder while he was readying another arrow. And you get into this room that, let me see. Let me see how we're gonna set this up. I'm pretty sure it's going to be initiative.
We'll take a key point away from that too.
I think the key point is only if you end up like deflecting it and throwing it back.
Okay.
Which we didn't do because he wasn't like really directly attacking you, so you can save your key points. Don't worry about that. All right, it is going to be initiative, so everybody roll for that. And we're back to the combat zone here. Let me get my characters set up here. Oh, cool. We can use some of the custom art here for my own characters for your enemies here.
Is that Dave?
Yeah, that's the Knight of Fate subclass that I created and got the art commissioned for. All right. Let me see if I can get the other character pulled up here. Good enough. All right, 1 second. Let me see how these people are set up here, and then we'll be good to go. Anybody have any exciting stuff happen since the last time we played? I guess it was the 4th of July and everything. Did you guys do anything cool?
Just the typical food, fireworks.
Heck yeah.
That's about it.
Nice. I grilled up some ribs here at my house with my girlfriend, and we enjoyed that and hung out. It was pretty good time. Let's see.
Ribs sound good.
Yeah, it was really good. It's the first time I've ever actually grilled ribs on my grill, and it turned out really, really well. I'm gonna have to do it more often.
Big go see Spider-Man yesterday. That was pretty good.
Far From Home. Did you liked it? Yeah, we saw it on Friday. I loved it, man. I thought it was fantastic. I liked it a lot more than Homecoming even. I thought it was really good.
Might see it tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, you definitely should. I won't spoil anything for you. It's I think it's probably
Jake's
not
really good in it.
It's not my favorite, but it's up there as far as the Marvel movies goes. And yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal is one of my favorite actors already, and he really knocked it out of the park as one of my favorite villains in the Marvel universe. So it was really good.
He's very convincing.
Yeah, he's fantastic, man. Okay, so there's not too much there's not too much I have to set up in this room. Let me get everything pulled up here. Sorry, guys. There we go. Cool. So everybody roll initiative. I will roll initiative for them. Okay. What did everybody get for initiative?
19.
18.
13.
Okay. So as you come out of the rotating cylinder, you enter into this room and you see the guard was like stationed at the end of the hallway, and then the hallway curves back into this big square room, and there's some benches and a table set up and like a bed, and it looks like a little bit of almost like a living quarters. And there was like a tiny curve from where that big rotating cylinder was, so it kind of turns around a corner, and then you get into this big open like living quarters / bedroom area. And the knight ran back in as soon as he fired that arrow and then tried to ready another one, but you guys were already getting out of the cylinder, and he ran back into the room and he yells like, "Ready yourself, milady, the intruders have arrived." And you see this like kind of gnarled looking older witch looking woman kind of stand up from the bed and grab this staff, and she stands up and like kind of slams it into the ground, and this magical energy surrounds her, and he pulls out a uh, shield and sword and kind of like readies them, and then he also has his bow at the ready. And Flack, you kind of pop out of the rotating cylinder first, and you turn the corner into this room, and you see them readying themselves for combat, and you get the first go at it here. So, Flack, you are up.
Wow, like I can't believe you guys actually like must have crawled through that thing. Like we're just a bunch of little goblins. Like you must have just had like the worst time. Imagine if the tunnel just got smaller, there would be no way back. Holy crap, that must have been scary. Well, I hope you're ready to die here.
When you say that, the witch woman cackles a little bit, and then the knight he laughs and says, "You dare insult our home?" And he raises his bow to get ready to fire a shot at you. And
how about you take one of these?
Take your turn.
I'm gonna do a chaos bolt, but I'm going to use one of my sorcery points.
Yes.
To make it a twin spell. So hopefully we can get like a double bounce. You know, that's the double bounce house tactic.
Okay.
Oh, I have to hit them though.
Yes. Let me really quickly write down all of their stats and stuff so I don't have to keep looking at the page in the book. And then we can continue here. Sorry, guys. But you can go ahead and roll your attack or whatever you need to do first, and then we'll get it going.
Okay. I'm going to cast Chaos.
All right. So when you use your sorcery point, it just makes it into an attack against both of them? Is that how that works?
Yeah, it just makes it so I can hit another target within the range of the spell.
Okay. And you got a 16 and an 11. 1 second.
I like to think of it as the spell forking in the middle.
Yeah, that makes sense. And so for people who are new to D&D or haven't seen a sorcerer before, because I think sorcerers are kind of underplayed, and it's really unfortunate because I think they're probably my favorite magic using class in 5th edition. They get their magic from, like, they naturally have their magical abilities. Either they were born with it or some magical force like instilled power within them, whereas wizards have to like study and learn their magic. So a sorcerer, their sorcery points are kind of the metaphor for them like using their inherent abilities to kind of like spice up their magical powers, where like a wizard knows like 100 different spells. A sorcerer might know 10 different spells, but they can change how their spells work, like you said, forking them midair or making them more powerful, or kind of changing what kind of damage they do, and really interesting stuff like that. So I think they have a lot of really cool stuff they can do that is way more unique than just like knowing a bunch of different spells, and stuff like Chaos Bolt and that kind of thing just makes them a really interesting class. So you launch this bolt and you aim it, and then it forks, and one bolt that looks a little bit larger and has a little bit more velocity to it slams into this witch woman, and then the other one kind of bounces off of this knight's shield. So you can go ahead and roll your damage against the witch.
Sick. So that doesn't proc bounce, but I can choose either acid or poison. What the hell?
Cool.
I don't. This is the biggest choice. This will change the game.
Whatever you choose, I'm just gonna say that that's what she's resistant to.
She's like completely like weak to the other.
Yeah. No, she. You can
I'm
tell
gonna
that
say
this.
poison.
You pick what?
Poison.
Okay, so it does 7 damage. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
The 7 plus. Wait, a
Yeah.
1d6.
Make sure you add your.
I know that there. I don't get no bonuses. That's just the spell. Is this?
Okay, it
So
doesn't
it's
add
11.
your spellcasting bonus or
No.
anything. Okay,
There's no bonuses.
so 11 damage, and that's poison damage.
Yeah, all poison.
Cool. Yeah, you see it kind of this wave of poison from this bolt wash over her, and that magical energy that she got from the staff, it seems to like dissipate, and her skin starts like bubbling and dissolving from this poison, and she like starts to freak out a little bit and wave the staff around like she's getting ready to cast a spell. And the knight looks back at her and kind of looks a little startled, and he drops down his bow that he was getting ready to fire, and he pulls out the longsword and shield and gets ready to charge at you guys. Is there anything else you wanted to do with your bonus action or your movement or anything there, Flack?
I'll just use my bonus action to use tempestuous magic and float a little bit above my goblin friends.
Okay, you're kind of hovering about 10 feet up in the air, and let's see Dr. Feargood. Your character's name is Brack. All right, it's been a week. I keep forgetting their names. Brack, you're up.
All right. It's hammer time.
Nice.
13.
Are you throwing it?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Which target?
Oh, the knight.
Okay. You pick up Whelm, and he's like, all right. He's actually the one that says it's hammer time. He's like, he like screams out, and you throw it across the room, and the knight kind of bats it away with his shield, and it comes flying back into your hand. And Whelm kind of whispers to you in your head, like, you're gonna have to try harder than that. This guy looks pretty tough.
Thank you. I will.
Anywhere you'd like to move or anything?
Yeah, I'm going to move over 3 squares to the left and up 1.
So right there?
Oh, hold on. Yeah, that's fine. No, I'm sorry. Over 3 squares and up 1 if you can. Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I had the wrong person for me.
Oh, okay. That's
So,
all right.
That was my fault. Go ahead and go to your right then. 3 squares and up 1.
Okay. Cool. So now the witch, after being bubbled away by this poison, starts to cast some spells. And let me see here. Oh yeah, that's cool. So the witch starts to swirl this staff around and slams it down into the ground and completely disappears.
That jerk.
And you hear some footsteps from behind the knight, and then nothing. The knight then charges forward. Let's see here. 15, 20, 25, 30. And seeing that you were the one that shot this bubbling poisonous bolt at his maiden, he takes a big chopping like long sword cleave right down onto you, Flack. That's a 10 to hit.
That does not hit, actually.
Okay. And you're floating up in the air, so he kind of like takes this big jumping cleave at you, and he definitely whiffs and hits the wall behind. But he recovers quickly and tries to do this quick flourish and stab up into you with a second attack here. Okay, 22 to hit. Guessing that one probably
Linking
hits.
up my toes doesn't work that time.
So you're going to take 8 damage.
Yow!
And he looks at the 3 of you that are still standing right here, and Brack has kind of moved over to the side, so he's just like directly facing three of you right here, and he exclaims like, I've killed more than 3 goblins at once before. This shouldn't be difficult at all.
Well, one's a hobgoblin, so.
And he looks at you as he said that, and he says, there's no difference. You're all rats. And it is now your turn, Clack.
Oh, it is? Can I roll a check to see if, like, the witch is anywhere around us?
Sure. Yeah, make a perception check. So, 14, you are a pretty wise monk. You know a decent amount of, like, things about the arcane world, and seeing what the witch did with the staff and casting this spell and the energy and magic that you saw, combined with those footsteps that you heard behind the knight, you kind of think that she may have cast like an invisibility spell, but you cannot see her anywhere around.
All right. I guess I'll go ahead and stand behind the butt of the knight.
Cool. You walk right up behind him as he is kind of like being full of himself and talking about how badass he is. He kind of gets distracted and doesn't see you. Get right up behind him.
I'm going to proceed to poke him in the butt with my katana.
Nice, yeah. Go ahead and roll to attack.
Hit him twice as well. Oh boy.
You do have advantage because he's being flanked.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So the 23 hits, and this guy has AC of 17, just for your knowledge now in the future. So you do hit with one of those stabbing attacks. You take a big swing at him while he's distracted, and it connects, and then he kind of like poises himself, so the second one glances off of his armor. But you did connect with one, so go ahead and roll damage.
In my head, I'm thinking he's so cool.
He does look pretty intimidating, this large armored figure that has like a cool bow and this like super fancy longsword and shield, and it's like this guy's definitely means business.
And I'm gonna spend a key point to take flurry of blows to hit him twice with an unarmored attack.
Cool, go for it. Dang, all right, you definitely connect with both of those. Very nice. Was either of those a natural 20? No. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Dang. 10 and 10 damage on both of those. Good lord, man.
How's it feel, Dave?
You guys are rolling good.
To meet your match.
All right. So you connect with the first sword strike, and then he kind of glances the second one off and gets poised up. But as he does that, you spot these two sections of his armor, like where it connects into his like from the breastplate into the lower like leg plates, and you see some clearing for like where his like back and like lower back would be, and you just hit him quick with two like kidney shots and just connect with two huge punches. And he like goes down on one knee for a second and catches himself, and like you can hear him breathing, like that feeling when you run like 10 miles and you have like a sharp pain in your side and you like can't catch your breath, and you can see that he's like gasping for air and hurting pretty badly off of that. And it's back around to Flack. Oh nope, actually it's Grak's turn. I apologize. Grak sees all this go down, and he's like, did you guys see another person in here, or was it just me? What?
Oh my god.
Was it just this one guy? Was there a lady in here too?
We talked to her. She talked to us.
He's like, what did she say?
I don't remember, actually.
She laughed evilly.
Grak is like, well, what do you guys want me to do? Should I hit this guy? Where'd the lady go? What's going on?
Hit the guy!
As he
The
said
guy
that,
till the lady appears.
he's like, all right, okay, and he rolls to attack, and he's gonna make a multi-attack both of which hit. Very nice. Let me make sure I have the correct amount of damage for this big boy here. 2d6 plus 6. Dang. 5, 6, 12. All right. He did 21 damage. And when he connected with the first sword strike while this knight was kind of doubled over in pain from the kidney shots, he cleaved into him in the shoulder, in between his shoulder pad and the breastplate, and you can just see the sword like slammed into him and cut through all of the meat and tendons in his arm, and his shield arm just like slumps down, and you can tell it's just not even connected anymore, and it's just like hanging off of him. And then he bashed into him with another sword strike, and it hit armor, but it dented his armor in and like just caved in his chest plate a little bit, and the knight is just struggling to breathe and bleeding profusely now. And he's looking real bad. And it is back to Brack's turn.
I guess the witch ran away. She's just gonna let him die out here.
Yeah.
Brock yells out, "It's time!" and throws the hammer again.
All right. Very nice. And since,
Ooh.
oh man, is that a nat 20?
Yes, it is.
Nat 20, and I was going to say you definitely have advantage here because you're throwing this into, like, this guy's got, it's almost like a sweet, like, triangle formation. He's flanked on all sides, and you're throwing the hammer into him from the other side. So it's like this really badass moment where he's surrounded on all sides and he's struggling and he's going down, and you throw the hammer. Where are you aiming with this hammer? You definitely, like, you're gonna kill this guy. How do you want to do it?
I want to take his head off and hang it from my belt.
Nice. You throw Whelm, and it's this perfect movie moment where you can see the arc of the hammer, and it's like spinning end over end and just connects solidly with his helmet, and it like flies, and like Whelm like pins the head up against the wall on the far side of the room, and then it flies back to you, and you catch the head in one hand, and his body slumps over. And as this all happens, you hear this cackle like ring out from the room. And 1 second here.
She's a dirty necromancer.
Oh no. I would never do anything like that to you guys. She is going to, I'm gonna have to look this up, but you hear this cackle, and then you see this glowing aura appear directly in the middle of all of you guys. Let me see how this is gonna work. This should be pretty good. The witch reappears, and she's pointing her finger directly at all of you, and you all need to make a dexterity saving throw. Holy shit, that's a lot of damage. Wow.
Just want to know I have +7 dex.
Nice. Oh, and you failed? Okay, cool. The DC that you had to save against here was... let's see.
Knight was the witch.
14. So
That makes sense. The witch was hiding in his armor.
you're all going to take 8d6 fire damage. And
we have to save against.
Flack is going to take half as much.
Eight.
8d6?
Yeah, it's fireball.
So it's a 20-foot radius sphere. So the sphere will start on like this point here, if you can see on the stream. So it's going to cover pretty much all of you guys. And so you're all going to take 22 damage, and Flack will take 11. So Grack will take 22, be down to 35.
think I speak for all of us. Let's not let that happen again.
That's kind
I
of why
thought I'd get at least 2 turns before I got obliterated for half my HP.
that's kind
I
of
literally had
why
spells for this, but I guess I just have to defend myself from turn 1.
I got away from you guys in case it was an area attack, but didn't go
You
far
just
enough.
left us out to die? You knew I was this squishy.
You knew. You knew.
Awesome. It's my
Uh,
hobgoblin part.
So
Judging up with Sin's eyebrows.
after the fireball connects with all of you guys, the witch cackles again, and she pulls out a little dagger that is like glowing green and throws it at Clack.
Ow.
Quick
I'm gonna
question.
deflect that. I don't want to get.
Would I have been able to do a bonus action in between that or not?
Sure. Yeah, it's still your turn. Like she kind of like appeared as you killed the knight and started doing all this stuff. But if you have a bonus action, like let me know what you want to do.
I'm gonna use a reaction to deflect that.
Okay, hang on.
I'm
Brack.
gonna do spiritual weapon and,
Okay.
and hit her with that.
Sure. Yeah, I like that. I think that would make sense. Like
That's,
you
a, bon-
were.
that's a bonus action, so.
Yeah, go for it. So your spiritual. What was his name? Jake.
Jake, yep, spiritual weapon, Jake.
Awesome. Let
Man, I
me
got a
see if
20.
I can make sure I can find the same sword here. There we go.
You misplaced Jake.
Let's go, Jake.
There's Jake. So as the fireball kind of connects and the witch reappears, you were already like thinking about summoning your old pal Jake, and you get it off just in time. So the fireball happens, and then Jake takes this swing down at the witch. So did you roll for that?
I got a 20.
Cool. Yeah, roll damage.
11.
11? Cool. The witch takes that damage, and Jake hits her, and she like lets out this like screeching squeal and pulls out that dagger and tosses it at Clack. And you can now use your reaction. It is going to be like a missile attack essentially, so you can try to deflect that. And
It says it's a D10 plus my Dex modifier, which is a 4,
okay,
and my level, which is 6, and D10 plus 10.
cool. So wait, a D10 plus 10.
Well, the idea is you try to reduce the damage to 0 to throw it back.
Right, and so it reduces it by a D10 plus 10. Is that what you said?
Yeah, well, it'll be 4 plus 6, which will be 10.
Right. So she throws this dagger at you, and it's gonna hit, and the dagger does like 1d4 damage. So no matter what you roll, you definitely will deflect all of it. So you catch the dagger, and then if you want, you can spend a key point and throw it back at her.
Oh, I'm throwing it back.
All right. So she like gets hit by Jake, and like it kind of throws her off a little bit, and she just like kind of like wimpy tosses this dagger at you, and you easily catch it and just like instantly throw it right back at her. So make an attack roll. Or does it have any rules about how
Yeah, I'm trying to read it
how
now.
that works in the deflection? How you can make an attack roll back with it?
If you catch a missile in this way, you spend 1 key point to make a ranged attack with the weapon or piece of ammunition you just called as part of the same reaction. You make this attack with proficiency regardless of weapon proficiencies, and the missile count as a monk weapon for the attack, which is no range of 20 feet and long range of 60 feet.
Cool. So 18 plus your proficiency bonus, which is plus 3, so a 21. You definitely hit with that. So roll to hit with a monk weapon, which your monk weapons have a special damage die. I think it's a D6, right?
I have no clue.
It's like the same damage as your flurry of blows, like fist attacks. So
Got you.
I think it's just 1d6 plus your dex.
Dex modifier?
Yep. So 6 total.
Yep.
Nice. You catch the dagger, throw it back, and it like lodges itself in the front of this lady's chest cavity, and she starts bleeding this like gross purple blood. And
Yeah, we gotta get rid of her.
it is now your turn, actually, I believe. Clack, because it was Brack's turn, and then the witch appeared.
Wait, did Flack go?
Flack went before.
I didn't get to go a second time.
You haven't gone a second time yet?
No.
Oh, I apologize. Yeah, definitely your turn then. Sorry, man. I don't know how I skipped you there.
I'm gonna
Skills
go
unlocked
hide
too.
behind my healer since I already lost half my health.
Okay.
And I'm gonna cast this new spell I got since someone's gotta protect me. It's called False Life, and
Ooh.
I'll cast it at a level 2,
Where are you moving to?
directly behind the.
Correct.
Underneath or to the right?
Right.
Okay. False Life. What does that do?
So I gave 1d4 plus 4 temporary hit points for an hour.
Cool.
And if I do it at second level or higher, I gain 5 additional temporary hit points for each slot above the first.
Very nice. So 1d4 plus 4 plus 5. So 1d4
I get
plus 9.
9 plus whatever I get with this.
So 12 extra HP for an hour. Very nice.
8. I thought I could cast this on my second turn. But I already took the damage. And I'll fly while I do this, because why not?
Cool. Yeah, you're flying up in the air. Anything else from you?
Just like look down at my healer, even though I know it's not his fault that I took damage.
Right. Okay, now it's over to Clack.
All right, I don't know if I had this before, but I have Kinsey's Shot, which I can use as a bonus action to add 1 extra d4 to a ranged attack.
Okay, very cool. Does it take a key point?
No.
Nice. Yeah, I was just wondering. That's awesome.
So I'm going to pull out my longbow and shoot at her once and then extra attack her again. It's just 1d4 for the one attack.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah.
So you get
That'd be
a
kinda
regular
OP.
attack plus a d4, and then you get an extra attack, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Go for it. Cool. So this witch has AC 12, so both attacks hit. So roll all of that damage.
All right, that's the 1.
Okay.
And maybe I should just roll that separately. Let's just roll a d.
Yeah, and then you can just roll a d4.
Okay, boy.
So
okay.
19 total. So you fire off this quick flurry of longbow shots, and like aided by your newfound like monk abilities, and you like clean shoot an arrow right through this witch's head, and she slumps over and is dead.
I think I killed her, guys.
She
She's not
disappears.
moving. And now she's gone. I think she's alive still.
She disappears in a way that looks like she's dead.
Okay. I'm not sure about anything anymore.
You hear Jake go, "Oh, I
So
want to
is
kill her."
poison her weakness or not?
What was that?
Is poison her weakness or not?
It definitely boiled her skin off. I don't know if she was weak to it, but it did a lot of damage.
I killed her, guys. I did it with the poison. It was very slow acting.
Not the arrows.
Oh, no, not at all. And it was because I had to make the very distinct choice between acid or poison. None of you stupid ass goblins would have figured it out.
Let me
Okay.
see what kind of treasure you guys get here.
Ooh, shiny.
If you get any.
Oh,
Let me move you back to the map and see if there's anything else to
Daddy
be
needs a new lance.
checking out here.
There wouldn't happen to be a merchant anywhere in there, would there?
A merchant?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you if you find one.
Cool. I need a lance now. That's my new Kensei weapon, and I don't have one.
Oh, cool,
I'm-
cool.
We're going to take 10 minutes here and cast a prayer of healing.
Okay.
Oh,
Forgot all about us
big
taking
damage.
nearly 40 damage.
Collectively, we took like 60 damage or something.
So I didn't know before, like I decided I was gonna have her cast Fireball, and then I looked up how much damage it did, and I was like, oh god, I might have just killed them. But
You could have, on good rolls, you could have.
oh yeah, definitely 8d6 or whatever it was. Like you guys definitely could have taken 48 damage apiece, but you didn't. So good job.
18 hit points back for everyone.
Very nice. Grak jumps up and cheers and is very appreciative of that. So he's up to 53. He's only 4 points down from his max, so Grak is feeling quite good now.
I'm only 6 down from my max. I'm feeling good.
Cool.
I'm 4 down.
So you guys clear out this room where you were battling the witch in the night, and at the back of the room you see a little doorway that's kind of like covered in like hippie looking beads, you know, like this witch had kind of decorated this living space with like vines and plants and skulls and there's bugs crawling all over, and there's these beads covering this doorway. And you go into this like inner sanctum, and there's rugs and tapestries and curtains, and the ceiling is covered in this like beautiful mosaic painting, and it looks like a nice room. And there's a table covered in a buffet of like sweets and cakes and like fried meats and like turkey legs from like a old school type of like a fair. And in the corner of the room there is a brass chest.
I immediately go to town on the table.
Very nice.
I go to check out the task.
I yell out, I wouldn't eat anything if I were you.
Yeah,
From too late.
fatten you up, and then they're gonna cut. Oh wait, we
You're already dead.
Welcome
But
to the
she
stream,
disappeared,
everybody.
so maybe she's just gonna come back, and then she's gonna be haha. And then she's gonna...
So as you enter the room, you pass over the spot where she was killed, and you see a little note with this word in like what looks like a strange language. And you go in and you see all of this stuff, and Clack, you immediately head towards this table with all these beautiful types of foods. And Flack, you said you wanted to check out the chest.
Yeah.
You head towards this chest. Grak sees this beautiful, like, ornate 4-post bed that has like amazing, like, million thread count, like silk sheets, and it looks like the most comfortable fluffy bed ever. And he immediately flings himself onto this bed, and he just like plops, and he like screams in pain, and he's like, oh my god, my back. And he like smacks the bed and like hits it, like trying to inspect the like fluffiness of the bed, and you just hear like this smack, like he's slapping concrete, and the bed kind of like dissolves into this illusion, and it's just like this slab of concrete built into the floor. And Grak is like, what the hell? There was a bed here, now there's just this concrete slab. What's going on? And
oh no.
Clack, as soon as you reach over and grab one of these like giant honking like turkey legs, you bite into it, and it just tastes like gray like oatmeal. And it kind of just melts out of your mouth, and the turkey leg just dissolves into this gray pile of mush on the table. And the table itself dissolves and turns into this gray, like, concrete slab, and all of the food you saw on it just dissolves into this gray mush as well.
Who even does stuff like this? Like, why? Why?
This is the crappy house that they were so proud of.
Right? They took offense to that.
Filled with bugs in it. Like, oh, like this is our house.
Freaking worse.
I'm gonna take it.
Oatmeal, it's cold.
I'm gonna take a dump right on that slab.
Freaking worse.
Flack, you picked up that the piece of paper from the dead witch that had the strange foreign language word on it, and you go up and inspect the chest.
Is this still a chest?
As far as you know, it looks like a normal chest. What would you like to do?
Oh, guys, I think this is gonna turn into butter in my hands too.
It's better than the old now.
I'm just gonna kind of put both my hands facing downwards and just kind of push it down, expecting it to mush into butter.
You push on it, and it seems like a pretty solid oak and brass bound chest.
Hey guys, I think I found the only real thing here.
You look at it, and the front of it, there's no lock, and there's no locking mechanism. There's just this weird symbol that seems to have some runes on it, and there's a glowing magical energy looking on the symbol.
I'll look at the paper. Is it the same runes as
It looks like it is, yeah.
I don't know
Probably
what
the
this
key.
means, but it doesn't.
Probably
It
a
doesn't need
fake key.
It doesn't need a key. Why do I?
Your source were clear. That's
I'm gonna.
with a magic lock.
I'm just gonna wrap this around my fingers with this piece of paper. And I'm gonna open the chest.
Fold it like a key. And then you open it.
No. Let me do this.
All right. It's gonna be open.
What are you trying to do?
I wrap the paper with my hands like an oven mitt and just open the chest.
Okay. So you grab the paper and put it over your hand and try to open the chest, and as you do, the chest poofs into this orange cloud, and the room fills with this. The spell is technically called Stinking Cloud. It's like this mustard gas fills the room, and you all are bathed in this horrible stinking cloud.
Oh God! Why did I open it in this small room?
But
what did you do?
The magical symbol glows as the paper touches the chest, and this pile with 500 gold pieces falls down onto the ground.
That's not enough.
Nothing else came out of the chest. Everyone leave.
So essentially you're covered in pretty much you got sprayed by a skunk. You're just stuck with this horrible smell on you now.
Well, the good thing is no one's gonna want to fight us anymore because we smell like poop.
Well, the great news is now we can check out that little hole that we saw in the water down there because we're already covered in crap.
That's right. We shouldn't be afraid to get dirty anymore.
I think it'll clean it.
Strategy.
Don't think we could sneak up on anybody anymore either.
That's true.
Good thinking. So you clear out this sanctum and you try to run away from this cloud that kind of starts to slowly fill up the entire chamber, and it doesn't seem like there's much left in here. Pretty calm and empty.
Okay, we're gonna split the gold.
The gold.
We all saw the gold.
Yeah.
That was the gas.
No. Gas don't
Gas
get gold.
made you see gold. It made us all see gold.
We made the sea gold get pocketed by you.
Don't you guys have thousands of gold? Why are you
Totally have thousands.
It's the principle.
No, exactly. I mean,
totally
why? Yeah. All right, so
I think you guys have been smelling some weird fumes with that gas there.
For me, being a goblin is like being a Ferengi on the gold plus platinum.
Grak doesn't even mind. He doesn't even notice when the stinking cloud surrounds you guys, and he's just wandering around, and he wanders back out, and he's just watching the spinning black and white cylinder, and you can see his head just going around and around and around, and he's just watching the thing, and he's just not even paying attention to you guys.
All right, Grak, that's enough fun. Time to go.
If he wasn't so damn strong, he did it years ago.
Quick question.
Yeah.
The witch.
Yes.
Did the staff disappear with her?
It did.
Oh, okay.
Damn witches.
Unfortunately.
Well, I'm going to get a running start and just jump down this hallway so I can slide around and go.
Cool, sounds good. Make an acrobatics check. Gusto, welcome to the stream. Howl, Luca Chan, thank you guys all so much for showing up. Good to see everybody. Hope you're enjoying yourselves. So you get back to the spinning, like circus hallway rotating cylinder thing, and it's spinning around, and Grak is just standing there watching it, and you come leaping from behind him, and he's like watching it, and he's like, oh my god, where the hell did you come from? And you fly down, and you get like almost halfway across the hallway, and you land, and you perfectly time it, and you just like plant one foot down and take another hop, and you hop all the way through and like dive back into the tunnel and make it all the way across.
I know, it was cool, wasn't it?
And Grak, as soon as he sees you do that, he tries to do the same exact thing. And he jumps, and he like takes a running jump back from the room and jumps into the thing, makes it about 4 feet, and face plants into the muck. And he tries to run and jump and get his bearings, and he stands up in the muck and just keeps sliding around, and he's like crawling on his hands and knees and like scrambling like he looks like a little kid trying to run like a horse or something on all fours, running across the muck. And he like scrambles to the cave entrance, and he like bangs his head on the ceiling, and he finally climbs in there, and he's like oh man, that was awesome. We both did that. That was really cool.
Are you okay, or never mind?
He's like got
Good
like
job,
a face full of this mud and oil and stuff, and he's like, just a couple of cool acrobatic dudes.
Yep, and you got stuff on your face. I need you to wipe it off.
I'm next.
All right.
Crit 21.
Cool. Yeah. So how do you do this? What are you trying to acrobatically cross here? Are you just like trying to time it and get your bearings and run?
Yep.
Cool. Yep. You make it right across. Easy. You did this before when there was a man trying to shoot you with arrows. So now that it's pretty calm, you just easily make your way across. And Flack.
Can I creatively cross this?
Absolutely. That's what I was hoping for.
Okay.
Wait, why didn't you just fly?
Exactly. Now that I know the path and I've been on it before, and I know there's no like trap, and I know there's nothing to like worry about, I can just like float in a straight path after knowing exactly where I'm gonna go, and just kind of like keep shooting like frost bolts in the muck.
Cool. Yeah. So you use your tempestuous magic, and you start flying across, and you shoot a frostbolt at the ground of this thing, and the whole cylinder just stops rotating, and you easily cross through it, and you make it to the entrance of the small cave tunnel.
I open my eyes, and then I look back at it. I'm like, wow, and to think if he lit that on fire, that's what I was just gonna do. Huh.
Smartest goblins ever. So you're all back in the little crawling tunnel now. Clack, you are leading the group.
I'm going to take that little slide since we're already disgustingly dirty and
Sure.
slide back onto.
All right, you guys all line up single file, and you head down that little chute, and it takes you right into this little water covered kind of pool, and it just seems like another slightly larger tunnel. Maybe there's enough room for like 2 people instead of just single file line, and it's just a water and muck covered room, and you can see a doorway that goes underneath the wall, and it reappears back in the pool where the kelpies were at and attacked you from.
Side of my first love. She's dead now.
You all emerge from this little chute and pop up, and you're like in the middle of that room where you attacked, where you fought them.
Hopefully we smell a little better, or at least smell like the rest of the place.
Yeah, at this rate, we probably smell just like the monsters, so that's probably pretty good.
That's a good point.
We're probably indistinguishable.
You are back in that room, and you see the stairway that led to the large, like slightly warm blast door, and the hallway that you entered to your south.
Oh, it looks like this is the only way to go, guys.
I guess we go check out the door again.
Okay. You guys head back to the blast door, and you get back up, and Grak is like have we been here before?
Oh, this is the first time.
He's like, that's what I thought. That's a pretty cool door. I think I would remember that. And he knocks on it, and he feels his hand. He's like, oh, it's a little hot. And then he like nudges Clack with his elbow, and he's like, hey, look, I knocked on the door this time. Are you proud of me?
I'm pretty proud of you, actually.
An astute observation. Good job, Crack.
So I think if we open this door, we're going to get a mouthful of fire. And I'm not okay with that. Anyone else have any ideas?
I mean, I could make something cold for a limited amount of time.
I don't know what to do here. I really think we're going to get burned if we open this.
You guys are free to investigate or do whatever you want.
Drac, put your tongue on the door.
You're not even halfway through that sentence, and he does it. He's like licking the door, and he's like, "Oh, it's actually nice. It really warms you up. You guys should try it."
Is it hot, Drac, or is it just kind of like lukewarm?
He tells you, he guesstimates the exact temperature, and he's like, "It's like a slightly above room temperature door."
Thank you, Drac.
No problem, boss. And he just like continues to lick the door.
Does it taste like there's somebody on the other side?
Crack is like, with my limited experience of investigative door licking, I can't say.
Right again.
He does.
Investigative door licking.
And he's like, it tastes like steam and iron. If that means there's somebody on the other side. And then he looks down and he's like, I'm going to keep licking the door, but you guys could look through the keyhole.
There's a keyhole? Right,
Yeah,
why didn't you say anything sooner?
There's a large like metal handle that looks like just like a turning handle and a keyhole.
Huh. Is this one of those key puzzles again? I'm not up for that one again. That door was really mean. And I'm not trying to, beat Poseidon's underleg.
I start to fold up that piece of rune paper into a shape of a key, and I shove it into the keyhole.
All right.
I cover my nose because I know what's going to happen.
The paper goes into the keyhole.
Did you turn your finger?
I turned the key.
You don't know if it is doing anything, but
I think we should ask the door what it wants.
Almighty door.
Why'd you ask the hammer?
I love that Brack is the one that first addresses the door. As soon as you say "Oh mighty door," Whelm, your magical hammer, you can just hear the biggest like eye rolling sigh of all time in all of your heads, and it's like, oh my god, are you guys seriously still trying to talk to doors?
This is our progress, our process, man. Leave us alone.
Whelm says, like, I don't even know what's on the other side of this thing, but I'm pretty sure we're going the right way to my sister Wave.
Ooh, Wave, I like Wave.
But there's no talking doors in this place, you guys.
Well, why did the door talk to us before?
Whelm says I could definitely break this door.
Can we just throw Whelm at the door and go around the corner?
If it doesn't have a soul, then break it.
Fine.
I'm going to leave and go around the corner.
Swing Whelm at the door after
All right,
moving
so
Clack out of the way.
Clack is like around the corner. Like, are you back in the Kelpie room or like in the little? The
one with the spinny thing.
The little cave tunnel. Okay.
Yeah.
So you like pop into the cave tunnel really quick, and you're around the corner. And Brack, you take a big swing at this door with Whelm.
Yeah.
Okay, you do it, and Whelm just like clangs against the door and like rings and like rattles you, and you like vibrate so hard that it like hurts your arm. And Whelm is like, oh my god, that's a strong door.
Knock harder next time, Whelm. The door didn't hear you.
Yeah, let's try something else.
Grak takes one last giant lick of the door, and then he looks at you guys and he's like, "Anybody try the handle?" And he grabs the door handle and he pushes it open. And on the other side of this giant iron blast door, you see another like 5 or 10 feet of this tunnel section, and you see another giant iron blast door.
Crack. Your customary door licking, please. Tell us the temperature.
Are you back out of the tunnel yet, Clack?
Yes, because I had to laugh at Wall. So.
Okay. So you rejoin the group. Grak looks at this door again. He's like, I consider myself a bit of a door expert by now. And he walks up to it and he like puts his ear up to it and listens. And he like puts his finger up to the air like he's like testing the wind. And then he like strokes his chin a little bit and then he just like licks the door again. And he's like, oh, this one is much hotter. This one I would say is like sauna temperature. Quite warm, and you can see a little bit of steam coming out from underneath the door.
Would you say it would have hurt if we opened the door?
He says, probably not. It would just be a little uncomfortably hot.
All right, I mean...
He peeks through the keyhole, and he's like, looks like there's just another door on the other side.
Well, that's good enough for me, guys.
He opens it up and pushes it open again. And remember, there's like a lip around these doors, so they only open like pushing them, like not pulling them back towards you guys. So he opens it, and you step through, and there's another giant blast door. And you go in, and the doors are like on hinges. Like if you go in and open it, they will close behind you. They're not locked or anything, but you guys can do whatever you want. You can hold them open or whatever, but they do like they swing shut behind you when you enter the room.
Well, Crack, you know the drill.
He goes up, and when he gets close to this door, it like feels hot to the touch. Like this one is like it's like if you turn your shower on like all the way hot and then you touch like the faucet, you know, it's like it stings. He grabs it and he's like, oof, that's hot. And he looks through the keyhole, and he's like, well, there's no door on the other side of this, but it's also not fire or anything, so I don't know, guys. And he licks it and he's like, yep, that's really hot. Oh my god. And it burns his tongue.
Okay.
If you knew it was hot, why would you lick it?
Let me give that a ice, because I know if I've done a little bit of science, if you put a little bit of too much hot and a little bit of too much cold all at once, sometimes things tend to break.
I'm going to cast a spell on myself.
Okay.
Protection from energy, fire.
Yep. You got it. So you have like a fireproofing. What does that just make you resistant to fire?
Resistant. Yes.
Cool. Yep, you got it. That's probably a good idea.
You got anything in any of that for us, huh?
I only had one. Sorry.
Alright.
Flack, what are you doing? A frost bolt or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna cast Ray of Frost on the door.
On the door?
Yeah.
Okay. You hit it, and where are you? Like, what are you trying to do? Explain your action here.
I'm just trying to like flash freeze it, so like the temperature shock actually just like, is enough to like warp the metal or break it.
Okay.
As in like real life science. But I don't know if that applies.
So you
I'll try.
blast this door with this ray of frost, and you can see the whole thing like freezes, and the iron of the door just turns into this sheet of ice, and it starts to crack. Like there's a crack all the way through it now, and the shock wave of getting hit with this bolt of magic, it like swings the door open, and then it swings back shut. It's like a saloon door, because all of these doors are on hinges.
Okay.
And it swings it open, and you see into it, and you see it goes into this big hallway, and then it slams back shut, and the door shatters, and the hallway is exposed in front of you. And as the door breaks in front of you, this blast of hot, steaming, like sauna air hits you all, and it's like, oh, it's probably like 120-degree heat, and you're just like soaked in this humid, hot air, and in front of you opens up this gigantic, cavernous room, and you step forward, and you can see the tunnel that you're in goes out, and then it becomes this like plastic bubble tunnel. The easiest way for me to explain this is like if you have seen like in an aquarium or a zoo where like you go underneath like the shark tank, you know, and you're in like a plastic tube, like a tunnel, you know, but you can still see the water above you.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Sharks.
So you guys are in like this big plastic tube tunnel now, and you can see a boiling lake, and you are inside of the boiling lake, and it's making this steam come off the side of this like this tunnel that you're inside of, and it's completely see-through, and you can see the water bubbling around you, and you can see like steam vents like spurting out like ash and steam and like bubbling boiling water into this cavern. And you can see it goes down 20 or 30 feet, this see-through tube, and then it turns into this giant glass like see-through dome, and inside of it you see this towering gigantic crab, like 40 feet tall, and it's almost taking up the entire interior of this glass dome, and it's just standing like scuttling around back and forth and turning, and it's like you can see the steam rising off of this crab's shell. And as you see this sight and you enter into this glass tube, you hear that sound of waves like coming in and out like a seashell in your ears again, and you hear the voice of the ancient artifact weapon Wave speak to you all, and it says, I see you found my brother. I really wish you would have came to me first. I've been trapped here for so long and stuck in here with this horrible sea spider. Please get me out of here. And
It's the door.
when you when you hear the voice, you can see directly behind the crab, through its legs at the bottom behind it, you see a small chest identical to the one that you pulled the magical hammer out of. And let's see here. I'm not going to put this on a battle map or anything, but I will put it on the main map. I'll show you if I can get a picture of a giant crab or something here. Sure. So if you guys can see this on the stream map here, there's a giant crab like standing in the center of this huge glass dome underneath the boiling lake that you are in a tunnel connected to. And the tunnel is like the same size as everything else. It's like 10 feet by 10 feet. Like the crab could not get into this tunnel, but you are standing in it, and it leads into the entrance of this giant dome with the chest. And I'll show you guys. I'll put the chest up as well. Directly behind the crab. Oh, that's huge. Sitting at the very back of the glass dome. What would you guys like to do?
Can I do a perception check to like see if there's anything like living in the like boiling lake?
Sure. Yeah, make a
sign of life.
Make a perception check.
All right, let's see what we can see.
Second. What'd you get?
14.
14. You look in and let me see what it says here. So with a perception check, you just start looking around at everything around you. You enter into this this see-through tube underneath the boiling lake, and you touch the walls of the corridor, and it feels like a soft, like elastic skin, like like a force field made out of like plastic that's kind of being magically held here. But when you touch it, it feels like it's squishy. Like you could poke through it and the boiling water would like rush in through this plastic like barrier, if that makes sense. And you look through and you can see like I said, steam vents like shooting this boiling water out and filling up the lake, and you can see up through the ceiling like the peak of the White Plume Mountain that you saw like spewing steam out of when you arrived at the mountain from the outside. And every once in a while, a giant blast of steam from all this bubbling up water will like shoot out the top of the mountain. And you don't see any creatures wandering around in the water or anything like that. You can see some like algae and like some moss and stuff growing up on the ceilings, like with the dripping like moisture and stuff on the ceilings, but you don't see any living like fish or anything like that in the boiling water. I think it's just too hot.
All right. Well, nothing magical here. It's just a giant supernatural crab.
Which, when you were inspecting everything, you look at the crab and you see that it's like Godzilla crab. Like, this is a giant, like, kaiju style monster. Like, this thing is huge. It's building sized and it's got these giant crab claw pincers that it's like scuttling around, and every time one hits the ground that you're on is still made of rock. It's like this rock shelf that extends into the boiling lake, but then there's just like this plastic membrane dome covering everything, and every time one of its like crab claws or legs hits the ground, it like excavates a little bit of the dirt, and it's like huge, and you can definitely tell that this thing is like insanely powerful.
Do we want to like come back to this, or because these walls are actually temporary, guys? These can be damaged, and we can die as soon as these break open.
Whelm whispers into all of your heads, and it says, "That's it. I heard Wave. She spoke to me too. We're so close, you guys. We have to get her. We're not going to be able to kill that thing, or at least you weaklings won't be able to. Even with my supreme power, goblins could never defeat that giant beast. I've heard of it in legend. That crab is unkillable by mortals.
We're no mortals.
You're gonna have to distract it somehow and go and grab Wave and get the hell out of here."
I can probably last for a little bit against it. I don't know. I can burn some key maybe to not die immediately. That's not really a plan.
Probably, maybe not die a little bit. Whatever you guys want to do.
I don't know. I have this sinking feeling maybe we should come back to this. Also, maybe that's just because I was told by a voice in my head saying that they wish I went another way first.
Really?
The voice of Wave told you guys it wishes you would have came to it first, is what it was saying.
Yeah.
Well, she's saying she wanted us to get to her first rather than Whelm because she's needed.
Maybe or before we got to her brother, which was this new artifact behind the crab, and maybe we just need her to be strong enough to defeat this crab.
No, Whelm's the hammer, right? Are we confusing?
Yes, Whelm is the hammer. Wave is whatever.
Wave is the box, right? Inside the box, right?
Wave is the door, okay? Wave is the door.
It's Wave's the door of the box. Where's Wave the crab?
I'm the crab, okay?
I kind of want to I don't want to be the crab. I mean, if we wait, honestly, like 10 minutes, it's probably going to cook itself to death in here.
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's been here a while. I hear like those kinds of creatures crawdads and such just get bigger and bigger, and they don't really die.
Right, they don't really die. Yeah.
So maybe it was just a small crab at first, and it's just hung out here for like
Hmm.
hundreds of years, and now it's just massive.
As soon as you say that, the voice of Wave comes back, and you hear the calming waves in your head, and you hear that's exactly what happened.
You let it grow? Why didn't you kill it? You can't do anything.
I'm in a box.
I mean, Whelm's pretty cool. He can do things.
Yeah, because you took him out of the box. Take me out of the box. I can do pretty cool stuff too.
I think that's like 2 for 1. Maybe we should just definitely come back to this. I don't see any harm in it. It's not like backtracking is like we're walking through literal spikes. So I'm down for it. This thing is scary.
Grack speaks up and he's like, well, how do you know that the other way is also not scary?
Because this voice in my head keeps telling me that this is the way to go, and this voice in my heart is telling me this crab is going to tear me apart because everything that sees me goes for me first.
I mean, you don't particularly have to go in. We just need to get the box.
I think it's not. I don't think it's going to give us it away without a fight. I mean, if it's that's the only thing in the room, and it's just waiting for food. You think it's just going to like let you just get by after 100 years of nobody coming in?
I
Let's give him
will
food.
let you guys know right now, just as a meta thing, just so we can like make some more progress tonight. You guys are welcome if you decide as a group to go back and go the other way. That's totally fine. But there's not going to be like a initiative like fight with this thing. It will fuck you up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Like it's not going to just let you past without doing anything. But you'll have to think of like a creative way to get past this thing. Like if you just try to go in there and like roll initiative and fight it, it will instantly kill you.
So I think I'm probably the best runner to go get the box. But we have to distract this some way to give me a chance. I do have agile parry, and I do have my dash ability, but that's about it. I could probably jump over the crab into the box, but getting back will be a different thing altogether.
I don't know. I just think maybe just maybe the other weapon has an ability that just makes us teleport, and then we can just grab the box and then just teleport out. I don't know. Like,
Maybe if I get the
why
box,
not open up
Wave will
all
let
our
me get out.
You know what? You're the one who's going in. You do it. You do you.
I want Wave.
While you guys are discussing your plan, Whelm speaks up again and says, I definitely don't condone any of the plans that you guys have come up with so far, but I can tell you exactly what these weapons do. They're my siblings.
What exactly do you do? What do you bring to this right here?
And you guys, like Brack, you've already been like attuned to this weapon, so you know everything that it does. It's like a badass like Thor's hammer that lets you cast like a cool spell once per day, and it's like whenever you throw it, it returns and all that good stuff. Brack can explain the rest if there's anything else you guys want to know about it, but Whelm has the information about what the other weapons do as well.
So I asked Whelm, if I get to the box and open it, will Wave be able to get me away from the crab?
He says, I think so. It is the staff of Poseidon, so you can control water creatures. So seems pretty easy. Giant
That's
crab.
exactly what I was talking about. What is it? You're just gonna, oh, maybe I can just run by this like 6,000-year-old creature. Maybe it won't kill me.
But Wave's in the box. She
She's in
controls
the other box.
creatures.
She's the door. She's not this thing.
No, this is Wave.
Whelm is like, Wave is talking to us all, and it's in that box, I'm pretty sure.
This is Wave in the box.
Now I'm confused.
That's what I was saying. This is
like,
Wave.
Are you confused, like out of game for a moment? Like, are you actually confused about what's going on?
Yeah. He said, like she said, that you found my brother. So I thought this.
All of the
box.
weapons are siblings, right?
Yeah.
You guys have one, so you found
Oh, she was referring to Whelm. I thought she was referring to like this new
When you
thing.
got to this
She was
area,
talking to us globally as if we found her like third one, being like, "Oh, you should have found me."
I see what
no,
you
no,
mean.
no.
Yeah.
So
That's what I thought was going on. That's my bad.
You got in here, and when you got in here, you were close enough to hear Wave again. And she's like, "Oh, you found my brother. I wish you would have came and got me first, but now that you're here, like, get me the fuck out of here."
Okay, yeah, no, I totally get it now.
Okay.
So, if I get the box, Wave could help me control Crabman.
Whelm says, that would make sense, I think, probably.
How do we get to the box?
He's like, I don't know, man. I'm just a hammer.
Well, I guess it's up to me, guys. I have the only solution. I'm sorry. Well, this is either gonna go really well, or it's gonna be the last time I see you guys. I'm going for it.
Oh,
What
God.
are you gonna do
And
exactly?
I'm gonna run to like the mouth of the opening,
Sure.
and I'm gonna cast mirror image on myself.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Ooh.
Cool. Do
And
it.
I'm just gonna run for the box and hope he chooses the wrong one.
To help you out, I'm gonna start chucking arrows at it.
Cool. Okay. So, Brack, are you doing anything to try to help this, like, obviously genius plan here that was very well crafted and carefully planned?
I mean, it is a stupid crab.
How do you know that?
Oh god, it's not a stupid crab. It's an elder crab. It's the crab of all crabs.
Brack,
And if
any
if you
ideas?
want, there's like a ruling in it for when a creature targets me with an attack or a spell. I roll a d20 to determine if it hits me or one of my duplicates, depending on how many are still alive. So if you want to do that,
What exactly
that's
does
what I was like hoping that that's what you want to do.
what exactly does mirror image do?
It gives me 3 duplicates that move with me and mimic my actions, shifting position, so it's impossible to track which one's real. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah, so yeah, each time a creature targets me with an attack during the spell's duration, roll a d20 to determine whether the attack instead targets one of your duplicates.
Okay.
If you have 3, you must roll a 6 or higher to change the attack target to a duplicate. With 2 duplicates, you must roll an 8 or higher. With 1 duplicate, an 11 or higher.
Dang,
And then
that's
the
pretty
duplicate
good.
has an AC of 10 plus my dex modifier. And once it hits by one thing, it is destroyed. But it says it ignores all other damage and effects. It only can be destroyed by an attack that hits.
Like a
So I don't
direct
want that.
attack on it.
Yeah, so I'm not exactly sure what that means, but I
That
kind of
just means any like AOE or environmental damage
that is
won't
true.
affect
So,
it.
like, yeah, like an AOE or an event won't really like hurt them.
Cool.
Can you cast this on someone else?
No, it's only on myself.
So you gain these 4 duplicates and you just run out into the dome. What do you do? Where do you go?
I'm just gonna like try and like like dodge and like weave and like
Okay.
kind of like just kind of like play like keep away, like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, and then kind of just like each try and like inch up closer and closer and trying to get around the crab and
Okay.
just hope that the one or two that he swings at are not me.
All right. Let me.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to assist just by shooting arrows in this
Sure,
direction.
and
Hopefully,
there is an action just called like help, like the help action. So I'll say that that's what you're doing, and you're like helping by shooting arrows at it and trying to like distract it. So you, Flack, will have advantage on any skill check that you need to make to try to like get away from this thing or whatever you do.
From my like mirror image.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
All right, here we go. So you run in here. Brack, are you doing anything during this? You still here? Brack, if you are still here, it looks like your microphone is off or disconnected.
Yeah, sorry
Okay.
about that.
That's all right. Any input there?
Yes. I had done input, did not realize I was muted. My fault.
Yeah, my bad. I didn't. I thought you might have been, so I checked and it was. So
If I say go with the mirror image for right now, I have an idea. Let's go with that first. I'll have my hammer ready in case he gets in trouble.
cool. So you can kind of be like on backup with like
Yeah.
a distracting blow as well in case anything happens. So you guys are at the door, and Grak as well. He kind of like comes in and like he's like guarding you guys at the foot of this like cave entrance with his shield up, just in case you guys like get targeted by this crab. Like he's guarding you while you're kind of like shooting arrows and have your hammer ready. And you see the 4 copies of Flak like charge into the room, and the crab makes this like sweeping claw attack, and it tries to hit you. Like it sees you come in, and it looks at whatever the first one it sees is, and it tries to attack you with a claw attack. And let's see, I have its stats pulled up. They are insane. It's got a plus 13 to hit.
Wait, plus 13 hit. My AC is 12.
So it's got 26 to hit. And
That's my idea.
so it's definitely gonna hit. You can try to roll to make it target a mirror
Your
image.
mirror image.
Yeah, so I get it, like you said, I get like advantage on it. I can roll twice.
So yeah, you can roll twice, and all you have to do is what? Roll higher than a 6.
Yeah, but yeah, I just have to roll higher than a 6. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boy.
Oh no!
Oh,
Oh my god.
Yeah, boys. Oh, let's go!
Jesus, dude.
You barely avoided this thing, and this claw slams into one of your mirror images, and it just goes straight through it. And it does 3d12 plus 7.
3d12.
So I'm not going to roll that because it will kill the image no matter what. But
It's 1 HP.
Yeah.
that is what
Damn, dude.
what kind of damage you're looking at here. So you get through about the first third of this thing, and you're still running. And it's back to like we won't do like a full-on initiative thing, but it's like back to you guys as a team's turn. Like the crab made this attack, and it's back to you guys, Flak, and you hear Wave's voice like that was a close one. Like, get over here.
That wasn't the real me, guys. I swear. I mean, crab. Good job. You can stop attacking now.
After it swung its claw, it's like scuttling around, and you see it bump into the membrane of the wall, and it like flexes a little bit, and you can see a little bit of the steam like evaporate off the side of the membrane, and it looks like it punctures a little bit, and like a little tiny trickle of this boiling water starts to enter the room.
Guys,
On a
That
timer,
is not
boys.
good. It's on a timer.
Also, there's a crab attacking me, so keep doing what you're doing.
so my idea
Will
was
do.
okay, goodbye.
What was your idea there, Brack?
I was thinking about propping the doors open, going around the corner, have them go around the corner, and throw my hammer and actually break this bubble,
Okay.
and then so the boiling water would boil the crab, and we would be around the corner, let the water run through the hallway.
Right.
But too late.
Just as an aside, like that is a really cool idea. I like that a lot. Probably would have worked pretty good.
If I hadn't been unmuted, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm sorry, man.
My fault.
So you're
I went for the hero play.
you're
Come on.
sitting there like explaining your idea, like after Flak has already charged in, you're explaining your idea to Clack and Grak, and they're like, "Man, that probably would have worked. That's a good idea."
Yeah, he's probably gonna
This
die.
is the only way. I'm doing
He's not-
it.
If
It's
he
the
lives,
only
he's not. You might as
way.
well just never say anything to him if he lives.
And yeah, so it's back to you guys. Like you can use your skills and everything to try to improve your situation here. Flak, what are you trying to do? Still just running, or?
Well, I guess I could shoot some frost to like slow the crab, and perhaps like fly with my tempestuous. So now there's like 3 or 4 flying dudes coming at him in
Okay.
the air. So now he's just like got flying goblins to worry about, and now he's like slowed, so maybe he's a little more disoriented.
Sure.
That's what I'm going for.
So,
I will throw my hammer to distract him and give him disadvantage again.
yes. So
Yeah,
you
still
throw
shooting
a hammer.
arrows.
You, I need Brack and Clack, both of you guys, to make an attack roll.
Actually, can I Can I aim for like a spot? I don't know. I don't want to shoot the thing and the whole thing comes apart. I want to like maybe try to boil him a little bit.
I wouldn't. Oh god.
Maybe the arrow's skinny enough to not puncture the entire thing.
You can try to shoot an arrow like directly above it, and maybe like a trickle of water will come down and hit the crab.
Yeah, that's the goal here.
Sure.
Oh, as I throw my hammer, I turn around and run.
Make an attack. Okay, the hammer hits it, and it hits one of the giant eye stalks, and it kind of like makes it reel back and be distracted for a minute. Make an attack roll against the plastic membrane underneath the boiling lake. Clack.
Oh.
Classic.
Are we doing this, guys?
Classic genius goblin move here.
It's all about velocity, guys. If it goes through fast enough.
That was my action. I'm running the other direction out the door.
Yeah, Brack, you are like back almost to the entrance there, back towards the blast doors.
Can I get a little creative with shooting the arrow?
Shoot, yeah, make your attack roll.
I'm gonna snap the arrowhead off of it first. So it split it rather than it would just fly through.
Okay.
Alright, so it's just a stick at this point.
Right.
Am I rolling for the
roll to attack. 20. Yep. You think about this and you like snap the arrowhead off right before you shoot it, and you're like, wait, okay, and you aim it. It perfectly punctures and like shoots through and just makes a tiny little entry wound in the membrane, and like a stream of boiling water starts pouring into the room and like lands on the crab's back, and it starts to sizzle up right like you wanted it to.
Yes. We're gonna eat good, boys.
So Flack, you are like flying around this thing shooting frost, and all of your clones are flying. You make it one second. You make it another like third of the way through the room, and you get behind the crab, and it like it's reeling with this boiling water hitting it, and its eye was hit by the hammer, and it like makes another sweeping attack at all of you, but it's much more distracted this time, and it only barely misses all of you. And it's back to you guys again. You essentially can just make one more like round of movement here, Flack, and you'll be at the chest.
Okay.
So if you want, you get up to the chest. What would you like to do? And as you get there, you see the puncture hole where the arrow went through begins to kind of spread. The plastic membrane is like warping and like melting with the boiling water now at this point that it's been punctured, and it's starting to spread, and water is like rushing in on top of this crab.
Think you need to hurry.
Wait, what did you guys do? I had this all.
We're helping.
You're not doing anything.
We're helping.
Let's see what's in this box.
I helped.
You open the box, and this magical trident like pops straight up and starts floating in the air, and you hear the voice in your head, and it says like, feels good to stretch my legs, and it floats in front of you.
That's a pretty trident.
Can you call off the Beastie Boy?
It says, wield me and my powers shall you know.
Okay.
Are you grabbing it?
Yeah, get it in my hand.
You grab the trident, and let me see here. Got it pulled up. So, hang on one second. Oh yeah, okay. So you now, while you're holding this, you can understand the language Aquan, the language of Poseidon, and you can now speak to animals and telepathically hold a conversation with any animal.
Any animal?
Any animal. And you hear Wave again say, I do not wish to be controlled by one of your magical pursuits, but you'll do for now. And it says, "Swear fealty to Lord Poseidon, and I shall aid you."
Yeah, for sure, whatever. Give me your powers.
It's you. As soon as you say "sure," you feel this like binding energy flow over you, and Wave like laughs a little bit and says, "Deal." And you hear this voice ring out through the cavern, and it's this language Aquan, so no one else around can understand it, but it screams at the crab to halt, and the crab just like drops and goes silent and just like stops moving.
Hammer time.
The water is still rushing into the cavern, and before it starts to like fill up the floor around the crab like holds up a claw and like covers up the hole in the top of the dome and allows you enough time to escape back through the blast doors.
Is this the last time we're ever gonna see you, Krabby?
It speaks back to you, and it like kind of looks back, and it's like surprised that someone is talking to it, and you can tell it doesn't really have language skills, but it understands, and it just kind of like clicks at you and like taps its like hands, and you can tell it kind of gives you like a look like I'll be all right, get out of here.
Best of luck, Krabby. Thanks for letting us out of here.
The crab's totally gonna die.
I have like a tear in my eyes. I like.
You run back towards the entrance, and Grak and Brack are already like past the first blast door. And
How'd you guys get here so fast?
you guys,
Your situation looked hopeless.
What?
You guys get
You
past
shut the arrow.
past the blast doors, and you hear this like rush of water and steam come in, and you see the blast door. You can see through the keyhole. Water begins to fill up and like slowly fill up in each room, and then the last blast door that you get past, it fills up about halfway, and then you can see it slowly starts to recede down, and it all seems calm.
You did it.
Now that you have left the chamber, Wave kind of floats up in front of all of you again and says, "Thank you for rescuing me. Now that we are, now that we're safe, I'd like to choose my wielder, if you don't mind."
What the hell is this?
And
We're bound. We made a deal. No
Wait.
gives these backsies.
Wave looks at you, or like turns towards you, Flack, and says, "If you so wish, I would be better suited to be wielded by someone that can use my martial abilities, but you are more than welcome to try to tame the powers of Poseidon for yourself."
I just wanted to talk to Krabby if I ever met him again, but that's fair enough. I don't want you not being used to your fullest extent, especially after being put in a box for God knows how long.
Wave, when you say that, says, "Thank you, and because of your loyalty to our great Lord Poseidon, you shall permanently be imbued with the ability to speak to animals."
What? That's amazing.
And then it slowly floats down into the hand of Clack. And Clack, this now is counts as a monk weapon for you.
Oh, boy.
And you are instantly attuned to it. And let me see if I can get you the stats for this thing. They're kind of insane. If you want to make a weapon for yourself in your inventory here, whenever you're ready, I'll tell you what it does.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll just make some notes real fast, and I'll enter it when I get a chance.
Cool. This thing is a legendary trident, and in order to wield it, let me say this first, you might not be interested. You have to become a worshiper of Poseidon, god of the sea.
God.
Deal breaker.
Um, the weapon is a +3 legendary trident, so you gain a +3 to all attack and damage rolls. If you get a critical hit with this weapon, the creature automatically takes necrotic damage equal to half of its total hit points.
Oh, wow.
It's also functions as a trident of fish command, so you can command any aquatic creatures. It's also a weapon of warning, so you can no longer be surprised. It's also a cap of water breathing, so while you're holding it, you can breathe underwater. It also is a cube of force, so while holding it, you can emit a like cube of force around you, which is like a force field. Let's see. It has dark vision up to 120 feet, so if you ever, for some reason, don't have dark vision, it can see for you. And it, let's see. It will. It has a bad habit of humming sea shanties and sacred hymns of the sea god when it gets bored.
Oh, Daryl's gonna like that.
Exactly.
Awesome.
So, yeah, you're automatically attuned to it. It becomes a monk weapon while you wield it. You are proficient in it. It's a +3 weapon that, like, automatically deals half damage to the enemy when it does a crit, and it does all that other cool stuff. So, there you go.
Pledging fealty to Poseidon is worth it.
Wave says, I absolutely agree.
All right, Wave. I'll take your hand in marriage. Let's do this. Call me the best man. Flack, since you retrieved my darling babe, would you like to be my best man?
Yeah, sure, whatever. Just give me the powers.
Grak comes up and he says a few words, and he says, "Do you, Clack, take this trident to be a lawful and holy worshiper of our Lord Poseidon?"
Our Lord, when did you
And Grak does this like strange hand symbol, like he's been worshiping Poseidon this whole time. And he says, "In sickness and in health, in life and long after death, the fish lord himself shall claim your body and your soul for the powers of the deep. I now pronounce you bound to this trident as long as you may live." And then Wave says, "All right, now that that's over with, very nice. Let's move on."
I didn't say yes.
And the deed is done. And Wave says, "Oh yeah, Flack, you can also now speak to animals forever."
Oh, perfect. That's just like that's my favorite part of every wedding.
As this all happens, Flack, these gills like also appear like on your neck, and you now have gills.
Like look at them. I look up. I look at everyone in the eyes. I look very scared, and I just shrug. I'm like, okay.
Just okay with it.
And I just like kind of like lean into like Brack. I'm like, always the bridesmaid, never the bride, huh?
Oh my god. Nice.
Well, guys,
this is the best D&D campaign ever. Just gonna
Make
say.
sure
have you heard of our Lord and Savior Poseidon?
Hey, you gave me these cool ass gills.
While all this is happening, Whelm talks to you only, Brack, and it says, "Man, Poseidon's a total idiot. These guys are morons. This is hilarious, isn't it?"
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Whelm's like, "All right, let's
Who are you
go.
talking to?
Let's go save my."
You didn't hear me. That was in my head. You didn't hear me.
I heard you talk, but that's it.
No, he can
No,
telepathically talk to the weapon as well.
Okay.
So Whelm's like, let's go save Black Razor. He's a little bit more sensible than these fools.
Okay, let's head out.
Is this a dex or a strength weapon?
It works for whatever you use, so it's a monk weapon for you, so it's dex. So Whelm kind of speaks to everyone as well as Wave, and they both simultaneously discuss like Well, only one remains. Shall we?
We shall.
And by
All
the
right.
way, I just want to mention this. While I'm holding Whelm, I can detect secret or concealed doors within 30 feet.
Oh, cool. All right. I will keep that in mind in case you guys come across one and nobody mentions anything about looking. Whelm will detect it for you. As far as right now, you don't seem to notice anything, but the only way back, the blast doors seem to be covered in this boiling water now, and the only way out is the way that you came. Thanks
Oh.
for the clip there. That's funny. You guys want to head back towards the entrance?
Yeah, sounds good.
It's essentially the only thing to do. You've completed 2 wings of the dungeon now, so nicely done, guys. That's awesome. And now that you've completed 2 wings of the dungeon, you're going to advance in level again.
Oh. Okay.
And it's 8:10 my time, so if you guys would like, we can take a short break if anyone wants to take a quick water bathroom break or whatever. And when we get back, we can level everybody up, and then we can start off on the 3rd wing of the dungeon before we gotta end the stream. We still got about 50 minutes left in the session, so it's up to you guys if you want to take a break.
I'm good to keep going if everyone else is.
I'm fine.
I got into this trident. Can we take the break?
What's that?
I have to enter the trident. Can we take the break?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll take
We can take 5.
5-10 minutes, probably 5 minutes. I'm just gonna go get some water, and then we'll be right back, and everybody will level up.
Okay.
Cool. All right, we will be right back, everybody. All right, friends, thank you so much for being here in the stream today. I hope you're all having a wonderful time. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you so much, Luca, Blitchy, Howl, Gusto, anybody that's here hanging out. I really, really appreciate all of the support and just having you guys around. It's been a blast. We'll be back in like 5 minutes, and we'll continue on with the 3rd wing of the White Plume Mountain dungeon. It's been amazing so far. So they're getting close to the end. We got 1 more wing left, and then we'll get back to the main adventure. So we'll probably have like 1 more session of this next week, and then we will finish it up. So thank you guys very much for being here. I will be right back, and then we'll keep going. Thanks a lot.
So, guys, sorry about being muted earlier.
No problem.
Well, it sucks because I was talking the whole time and nobody was paying attention to me. Didn't even realize I was muted.
I thought my idea was pretty cool.
Oh,
It
yeah,
worked out, yeah.
yeah, it did. I was worried.
Being
I
scary.
was really when he said the damage it thing, dude. I thought, oh, crap, 1 good hit and down you go.
It was really funny because like I was gonna pick like it was either between that like a mirror image or invisibility, and I was like invisibility I can use in the middle of combat to like escape, but like it's like less practical going throughout the combat because I can only use it once and then the invisibility ends. But it's better outside combat, obviously. Like in this situation, it would have been really good. But then
Somebody
I was
said,
like, well, I know what ability I replaced it with, so I mean, like, there's like a 1 in 4 chance, he hits the right one. So I was like, that'll have to do.
so all I got left in healing is cure light wounds, and I have to touch you for that.
Is it a strong one?
All right, unless we take a rest. If we're taking a rest because we're,
If we level up, I think we just get full everything.
which I better do that right now.
It's
Are we supposed to wait for him to do that, or go ahead and?
I think he wanted us to wait. I don't
Okay.
know. It took me so long because I literally looked through every spell.
Oh no.
And then I like went and like narrowed it down to like 20 spells, then narrowed it down to 10 spells, and narrowed it down to 6 spells, and narrowed it down to 4 spells, and it's like, okay, now which 2 spells do you want?
I only got one additional spell, and I took Cure Wounds for you guys.
Yeah, that's how it was. I was doing Darrow. It's just like, oh my god, there's so many freaking spells.
Yeah, it's because we like lost a healer essentially, right? So it's just like
Yeah.
that sadly that just got like kind of like thrown on you, like because you're like the everyman, and then all of a sudden it's like, well, now we don't have a healer, so the everyman is now the healer.
Yeah.
Like you didn't really. That wasn't what your character was rolled for.
Yeah, especially like the first 3 levels. I'm like, God, I'm not prepared for this.
You don't even have the right stuff. Like you have to like touch
Yeah.
everybody. You only can medicine at most. That's your
Exactly.
biggest heal.
All right, I'm back. How's it going?
We're just talking game, having a great time.
Awesome. Sounded like it. I'm excited about that. I am really glad that you guys are having a good time. Everybody.
You would know how. Do you know? My bad, Kat.
No, what's up?
Is there a certain way you enter +3 weapons inside Roll20? Like
I am not sure.
When you're putting a weapon up, click on the cogwheel,
yeah,
and it'll see underneath the attack part of it says magic bonus, and you put that number there, whatever it is.
Did you find it?
I did. Yes.
Cool. Yeah, it's a +3 weapon. So there you go. Thanks, Papa Howl. Howl says, amazing campaign. Great job, all. And I totally agree. Thank you guys so much for being awesome players and making this possible. Let's see here. Okay, so as soon as, I guess I will start by leveling up Mr. Grack here, so everyone can watch that while you continue to enter your weapon if you're doing that. So this dungeon, we're kind of doing it as like not experience-based leveling, but like every time you kind of finish a wing of the dungeon, you get another level, if that makes sense.
In a way, you can think of it as experience, like the collective wing at the end equals
pretty
X
much
experience.
Exactly, yeah. So Grack will be ascending to level 7 now. We're gonna milestone experience that's exactly what it's called. So we shall roll for Grack again. Oh, and he got less than the average again. Grack might be the worst. All right, so as a level 7 champion fighter, Grack now gets Remarkable Athlete. He can now add half of his proficiency bonus to any strength, dex, or con check. In addition, when he makes a long jump, the distance he can cover increases by a number of feet equal to his strength modifier. So if he makes a long jump, he can jump an extra 4 feet. Hey, Dr. Feargood, the incredible cleric Brack, and our newest member of the party when we join back up with the main campaign. Thank you so much for the subscription, man. I really appreciate that.
I'm enjoying myself, so I thought I'd help out.
That is awesome. We're really enjoying having you. You've been an awesome addition to the party, and I cannot thank you enough for joining in, man. It really means a lot to me. You definitely don't have to do the sub, so thanks a lot. That's really cool. We'll apply these changes. Grack, it seems like the champion fighter doesn't get a whole lot at level 7, so he is finished. The champion fighter, you guys, is kind of like, I just chose the most like basic fighter possible. I didn't want to like make you guys think I made some super crazy overpowered character to play alongside you guys or anything. Grack is totally just like your workhorse, like whatever you guys want him to do, basic kind of crappy fighter. So that's that.
He's just like a level 87 like Doombringer blood death
yeah
knight.
Like I made an Eldritch Knight who's like one-shotting everything, and I just wanted to play a overpowered character. No, not at all. You guys had to bring the full goblin squad, and Grack just happened to be who he is. Who is leveling up next here?
I started. Sorry.
Nope, you're good. You level up, and then we'll take a look at your character sheet when you're done, and we'll just go through it for the stream and tell everybody what you got with the new level. I'm just excited to see what you guys' improvements are. I really like that side of. That's probably my favorite part about D&D is character design and classes and all the actual like RPG stats and that kind of stuff. I really like making new characters.
Nothing like leveling up in a very well-made RPG where you can perfectly tune your character.
Yeah, man, and like D&D is the best one. You know, like RPG video games, like you get to pick your like talents or whatever, but D&D
Nothing
you
is as
literally make your
specific.
character as like a person that you want to be. You know.
Yeah, and you can change like one tiny thing, and your character could be like so much different.
Yeah, well, you can take levels in entirely different classes, you know, like, and you can make
You can
it
even play the same character, but just take one or two different spells, and then all of a sudden you're playing in a completely different way.
exactly like a sorcerer could be like a fire sorcerer, and then the next level take all the ice spells or whatever, or you could play as a paladin who gets all the way to like level 19, and then when you level up to level 20, you can role play that you got corrupted by some evil god, and you take your last level as a warlock or whatever. You know, it's really cool.
Yeah, and then you become like some like spell casting like corrupted paladin.
Yeah,
it's magic more than swords.
Infinite power and like
and it
choice,
would be like
you know?
good, and it wouldn't be like bad, you know, like it wouldn't be like a bad thing to do.
I really like it, and if any of you guys ever want to do that in the main campaign, like multi-class or whatever, like get as complicated as you want. Like I can handle it from the DM side, so.
I have a really cool theory crafted character that works within the rules of 5e, but it's really interesting. It's like a card thrower. He imbues his cards to be stronger, and then he just throws cards at people. But he uses like dexterity, like he uses a lot of traits and gets dexterity traits, so like he can like throw cards while running and like disengage while throwing cards. So basically, like nobody can really hit him, and he's just hitting people with like stronger than average darts.
So it's like a gambit type of a guy.
Yeah, basically.
That's
but, like,
really cool.
But like it plays probably like more fun than you'd think. But I've never really gotten it to work, but I've theory crafted it for over a year now.
That's awesome, man. Well, hopefully in the future we can maybe do something where you get to play that.
Would be amazing.
Cool. Looks like Mr. Clack has Wave, the legendary trident, entered in here.
Just to make sure it does have this, I looked on Roll20 for their trident. It has secondary damage too. Is that in this one as well?
What do you mean
like,
secondary
I guess it's
damage?
for trident. So if you look up on Roll20, it has a +3 trident, right? It rolls 1d6, but then it has a secondary damage of 1d8.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Probably.
Sure. I don't want to make it too strong.
Let me see. I'm like looking at it in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and that's always complicated because it just like assumes that it does the trident weapon damage, so the actual page for the weapon in the DMG doesn't say what kind of damage it does. So yeah, whatever Roll20 says, that's fine. Just go with that. It's like it's an artifact, like legendary artifact weapon. Like it's supposed to be ridiculous overpowered. So if you're doing ridiculous overpowered damage with it, I'm not surprised, and it doesn't bother me. It's kind of the point.
Okay.
All right, everybody get leveled up.
All right, we can do mines if you want now.
Cool. Clack. You have not done it yet? All right.
No.
We'll go through it together here. Launch level plus. All right. Level 7. Would you like to roll or take the average for your hit points? The average is 5.
Yeah, I took average last time. We can roll this time.
Cool. All right. 1.
God!
Why you never roll?
It looks like you get a decent amount of stuff for this level, though, so at least you'll get some features.
Cool.
At level 7, you gain evasion. Your instinctive agility lets you dodge out of the way of certain area effects. So any AoE effect... Oh
my god, dude.
Any time that you have to make a dex save against an AoE...
Even says fireball in the description.
Yes.
So pissed, dude.
So yeah,
And now you can dodge it.
you essentially, like, if you pass the saving throw, you take no damage, and if you fail, you only take half. So
Nutty.
Between 22 damage and 10, basically 11 damage.
Well, and you passed that check, right?
I passed.
No, I
Oh,
totally
okay.
failed.
So yeah, you only would have taken half damage, but if you passed, you just like totally evade it, which that's insanely good already. You now have 7 key points, and you also at 7th level, you can now use your action to end one effect on yourself that is causing you to be charmed or frightened.
You freaking kidding me?
Man, it seems like this stuff would have been useful.
Oh my god, man!
It's kind of funny how like specifically useful all of this stuff would have been. Like, it's almost too funny. Well, there you go.
The fact it says fireball spell in the first sentence.
I know, fireball and charm. Like,
Oh my
you
First
got
sentence.
That was like a 2-day charm I was going through.
I did get a 4th level spell, by the way.
Oh, very nice.
It
So,
is.
did you do all of your leveling up there, Breck?
Yeah, I'm just finishing now.
Cool. Let me know when you're done, and I'll just open your character sheet and we'll look at it.
Okay.
Flack, did you do yours?
Nah, I'm waiting. If you want to do mine,
Oh yeah, we can do it. Cool.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Get it.
Here we go.
get a new spell.
Heck yeah! All right.
There's these.
Level 7. Are you gonna roll or take the average?
I think I'm gonna take the average here, Pat.
Very
That was
nice.
good.
That
That
was
was
good.
good.
All right, average. You're up to 50, 51, 55. I don't know.
I think 48 maybe.
Plus 4, so you're into the 51 now.
Oh, really cool.
Pretty good. So you get more sorcery points, and you get something to do with your sorceress origin, and you get some more features. So you now have 7 sorcery points,
What?
and you get new spells. Here you go. Oh, you're gonna get a level 4 spell as well. It looks like.
Yes. And I
So
can
you can
replace one
add
spell.
one new spell, and you can replace one spell, and you can now choose a 4th level spell.
Well,
This is
I
when
think I
stuff starts to
have
get real good.
Oh my god. Well, now I see. This is like. It took me a couple hours looking through all the spells of each level. Luckily, this is only level 4, but like I don't know which one I want. Like just dimension door. Like what the hell?
So greater invisibility is what the witch used. I'll just let you guys know right now, when she disappeared, that's what that was, just so you know for future reference.
Wall of fire. That sounds so cool.
The level 4
Watery
spells are like, this
sphere.
is where it's like real cool stuff.
Banishment could be pretty
Daryl
badass.
just made it to level 4 spells as well. I think that's when we got
Now,
the.
can we like look at a couple of them?
Yeah, absolutely. Anything that you want to look at, let me know.
Banishment and blight. I want to know what
Let me
the hell
see if
those
I
are.
can pull it up on here, or if I have to
Couldn't when I tried.
sorcerer spells by level. Yeah, Roll20 is kind of a pain sometimes. Oh, here we go.
What's the spell?
Banishment. I can look them up and put them up on the screen if I need to, but let me see here. You got a lot of possible spells you can choose from.
Oh.
All right, I'll just look it up, and we can look each one up if you want to check them out. Banishment 5e.
I
Here we
can
go.
read it if you.
So range is 60 feet. Concentration spell up to 1 minute. You attempt to send a creature that you can see within range to another plane of existence. If the target must succeed on a charisma saving throw or be banished. If the target is native to the plane of existence that you are on, then it is banished to a harmless plane. And while there, the target is incapacitated and remains there until the spell ends. When the spell ends, the target reappears where it was banished from. And if the target is native to a different plane of existence than the one you are on, it is banished and returned to its home plane. If the spell ends early, like if your concentration gets broken, then the thing comes back. But if your spell completes and you banished something back to its like original universe, it stays there for good.
Oh, and that's
Man,
why
you
it
could
makes
have
the
banished
popping
that
noise.
crab, dude.
It's a good guy.
So like this
Saved us. Remember, it held the holding.
specifically, like if you're being attacked by like a wolf and you banish it, it will like go to like the shadow realm or whatever for 1 minute, and then it comes back. So you could banish something and then like escape, and then it'll
Yeah.
come back where you banished it from. But if you banish like a demon, it will go back to the abyss, and then it stays there for good.
That's pretty. That's
So
pretty nice.
banishment is very powerful if a little situational.
Very situational, but like I see there's like two situations because even like in a big fight, I can just take one guy out. For
Yeah,
a
it's
little bit.
at worst it's like crowd control for 1 minute, right?
Exactly. What is Ice Storm?
Ice Storm, let's check it out.
That's a pretty good one.
It is pretty cool, yeah. Ice Storm. 4th level evocation spell, range 300 feet. A hail of rock hard ice pounds the ground in a 20-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder centered on a point within the range. Each creature in the cylinder must make a dex saving throw. So that's essentially the same size as Fireball, but it also goes 40 feet high into the air. A creature that fails the save takes 2d8 bludgeoning and 4d6 cold damage.
46.
While the hailstones are falling, the area is turned into difficult terrain.
300 feet? Jesus.
That's pretty good.
If you cast the spell using a spell slot of 5th level or higher, which you don't have yet, right?
No.
But when you do get those, if you do, you can upcast this spell and it increases the bludgeoning damage by 1d8 for each slot. So it essentially makes this giant hailstorm that is hard to pass through, does a ton of damage, and you can pretty much launch it like 300 feet away. So
Yeah,
That's pretty
I
good.
think I'm just gonna save everybody a lot of time. I'm just gonna pick this,
you're gonna take Ice Storm.
That sounds
Yeah.
awesome to me, dude.
and I want to replace one of my cantrips because there's like some that I have that I didn't even notice I had on my like little hotbar I don't even use.
Sure.
So yeah, you have to like open up the cantrip.
Yeah.
I think I want to get rid of.
It's not letting me.
But you can't do it with regular cantrips. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
I think
okay.
you can
then.
only.
I don't want to replace my other spells, so that's okay then.
Okay. Yeah, it won't let me change your cantrips.
It's fine.
I will have to. I don't know if that's like, if it's just technically the rule where like you know the cantrips you know.
So technically, cantrip isn't like a spell; it's like a cantrip.
I don't know if there's any other way like in the rules for you to unlearn cantrips.
I'm supposed to just choose it at the beginning.
Yeah. Which if you chose one that you didn't like and you want to like pick a different one, I'll let you do that. It's totally fine. It just won't be on Roll20.
Yeah, no, I didn't pick any of these, right? Because you like.
I just generated them for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I wanted most of the spells, just like two that like obviously just don't even use and aren't even on the thing. Like Mage Hand and like Thunderclap are just pretty much useless to me.
So we'll just say that these are just like the cantrips that Flack just like naturally knows, but maybe we can figure out a way in the lore to change it up in the future.
I know, it's fine. There's just like this poison thing that I could use, but I don't need it. I have like my firebolt, so does more damage. So
okay. You don't want to switch out any of your other spells?
No. They're all really good. Oh yeah, I forgot I have mage armor now. It's really good.
That is very good. Cool. So I think that's it.
Yep.
Boom.
I just question.
Yeah.
When I went through the level up, I chose my 4th level spell, Guardian Faith.
Okay.
But when I went to my spell page, I've got 3 spells. And I didn't select the other 2. I guess something else there.
Let's check it out.
I'm wondering if it's part of my.
Oh yes, you are a Forge cleric, so you automatically know a certain list of spells given to you by the Forge God. So just naturally by unlocking 4th level spells, you now know Fabricate and Wall of Fire as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so you kind of got some free stuff there, as well as like heat metal magic weapon, and like I think all of those ones that are like that have the C next to them. I think.
Okay.
On your on your sheet there. I think you just like learn those from your god or something. Cool. Let's check out your character sheet here. What did you gain in your leveling up there, Breck? You're up to 59 HP, 20 armor class. Very nice.
There's 3 spells and the hit points is it.
Cool. You can channel divinity twice, which is cool.
Right.
Which your channel divinity, I don't know if you've really done that much yet. You can touch someone's weapon or armor and it automatically becomes a +1 magic weapon or armor. And
yeah, I'll do that to my own armor every day.
Cool. At this point, yeah, everyone has a magic weapon, so you don't really need to do that. But yeah, you get the +1 AC bonus if you do that with your armor. So very nice. I think that's that. Did we go over everybody?
Yep, even Greg.
Awesome. So you guys are all rested up. Oh yeah, make sure you heal yourself back to full.
Automatically did it for me.
Cool. Yeah, it should do that when you level up, just making sure. But you're back at the entrance. You've taken some time and you feel pretty rested up. You have these 2 incredible artifact weapons, and you're back at the place where the Sphinx split into the 3 paths, and it's back to you guys, whatever you'd like to do. To your left, the only path you haven't been down yet, you see about a 10-foot long open pit filled with water down this pathway. Like you see the tunnel kind of go down like the rest of these cavernous rock tunnels, and then you can see it just opens up into this like watery pit.
You want to fly over, Flack?
Yeah, sure. Follow me, everybody.
Okay, so you guys get up to the edge of this pit of water, and
I shoot ice into it.
cool. So you shoot ice and you fly across, and it just ices over like a frozen lake in the winter, and you guys can just walk across.
I guess we're walking across.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't think there's anything special about it. This area. Let me make sure here. So I have the old adventure module from 79, and then I have like this updated version where I have like the modern translation of like how it would work in 5th edition. And this room, yeah, just a 10-foot long deep pit of water. So I imagine that would be like if you guys were like a lower level party and you tried to get through here, maybe it would be a more challenge to a different party, but you guys seem to easily defeat the pit of water. And you get to the end of this tunnel, and you see this corridor that is lined with these copper colored metal plates on both sides of the wall, all the way down this wall, and it seems to be 30-40 feet long. This tunnel, much like the ones that you've been in so far, like this like obsidian rock, and it's covered in this like moisture and mildew and stuff, but these copper plates that are about 6 feet high and 6 feet wide each are just lined up all the way down this tunnel corridor, and they seem to be vibrating, and they're creating this like field, and you can see that they are like emanating this strange energy.
I'm gonna throw a rock in there.
Okay, you just pick up one of the rocks that's sitting in the hallway, and you throw it down the tunnel, and it seems to just fly right through and land at the end.
Is it too early to say the Grack test?
Grack is standing there with you guys, and he looks at the copper plates, and he's like, what do you guys want me to do?
Copper's generally to conduct electricity. Maybe it's gonna electrocute him.
Don't touch it.
He was like leaning towards one to lick it, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my god! Get relax. I'm sure we fed you.
He was like, "I thought maybe these things were like doors or something. You guys wanted me to do the licking test."
Maybe I want to drop some water for my 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 water holder thing that I can't think of the name for.
Canteen?
Yeah, that
Water holder thing.
sprinkle some
skin.
water and see if anything reacts.
As you are coming up with this plan, Wave speaks to you and says, a true servant of Poseidon would never forget anything to do with water."
I apologize. I'm new to this.
And then this little water spout comes out of your canteen onto the ground in between this energy field created by these copper plates, and the water doesn't seem to react.
What do you think, Wave?
Wave says, I've never seen these. I wasn't brought this way when I was transported here. I would imagine they have something to do with electricity or magnetism or some type of metallic heat. I don't know. Something, some type of strange energy seems to be emanating from these copper plates.
I do have some lead. Let's toss some lead over there. I don't think lead is lead. Can you magnetize lead? I don't think so. I think lead's one of those inert metals.
It's not. Yeah, it is not reactive to magnetism.
Just throw the lead. Let's throw the lead in. Well, we threw water on it. It didn't heat up. I don't know, guys. I'm gonna walk through. I mean, it might fry your brains, but
maybe just tie the lead to your feet as like a ground, and then just walk past everything.
But what if it's like microwaves? I'm sure they have no idea what a microwave is, but still. What if it's like head-breaking magic?
I don't quite follow.
Goblin cooking copper plates.
Yeah, what if it only reacts to flesh?
Only one way to find out.
Only one way to find out.
I don't want to send our brother.
Then you go.
What does Cube of Force do again? It's just like I can just emit like a wave away from me.
I can read it for you. So it's an item, but the wave can kind of emulate this thing's abilities. You can emanate a barrier that nothing can pass through. Spell effects can't pass through the barrier. Non-living matter can't pass through the barrier, and it's just like a cube of force, like a force field around you. It can be destroyed by certain spells and effects, and it only lasts for a little while, and you can move. It kind of like moves with you. Like if you do a cube of force with wave, it will kind of like shield you in a cube around you with a force field.
Guys want to take a trip with me and Wave?
Why not? I'm ready for the microwave.
Yeah.
Wave's like, good joke. I guess you guys could just get close and we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Hug.
All right. So you hold up Wave, and this cube of force emanates from around you, and you're all huddled up in this cube, and you begin to pass through this field of copper plates lined up against the walls, and you get about 10 feet in, and you feel this strange vibrational energy affecting you all, and you start to feel a little warm. And Whelm and Wave both speak to you, and they both say like, "Wow, you guys feel that? It's getting a little hot in here."
Yes, we feel that. Can we move faster, guys?
If it's getting warm for weapons, we gotta get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
And you pick up the pace a little bit. You get about halfway through the room. Brack, do you still have your fire resistance? How long did that last for?
Let me check, but I think it was only an hour.
An hour? It's still like less than an hour, so you still have it. So, Brack, you totally feel unaffected. You don't feel like anything is going on at all. And when all the weapons are like, are you guys feeling hot in here? You're like kind of confused. You're like, not feeling anything at all. And you get about halfway through the room here, and Whelm and Wave are both like kind of like freaking out a little bit in your guys' heads and saying like, you guys, we got to get out of here. This is insanely hot. What's going on? What are you guys doing? This is kind of scary.
I think it's heating up the metal, guys.
And all of you, as you get about halfway through here, let's see, you are halfway through the 40 feet. So you're all going to take,
oh god,
10 damage, and the metal armor and weapons that you're all holding begin to like kind of scald into your flesh.
Do I take the damage?
Nope, you don't even feel hot at all.
Okay.
So you said it's been less than an hour, so that means that my temporary hit points, they only last for an hour. So would they protect me in this instance?
Yeah, let's say it's been like 45 minutes. So yeah, you're still under that guise or whatever.
Wanted to make sure that
Cool.
that shield still counts. So it goes away if I rest, but I think. But yeah, if I'm still awake.
Cool. And you guys get to the very final bit of the corridor, and the further you have got into this, the more and more this like magnetic energy began to like vibrate and heat up the metal on you, and you take another 2 damage apiece. Obviously not Brack still. And you come out on the other side. The cube of force closes when you get to the other side, and it seems like the cube of force was kind of like protecting you from the brunt of that like magical damage, and it collapses. And Wave says like, that took a lot of energy to maintain that. I hope it helped. It seems like we all would have been cooked alive if not for the force field.
Told you guys, microwave.
It pretty much was, yeah. You guys pass into this room, and Whelm whispers in your mind, Brack, hey, there's a secret door over there.
I tell the guys, there's a secret door.
Speaking of that,
How do you know that?
When
you
you
can't be ambushed because of
My hammer told me.
when you say there's a secret door, Grack's like, oh my god, Brack, you're a genius. I can't believe you figured that out all by yourself. You're amazing. And then you say, my hammer told me, and Grack's like, oh. He's like, oh well, I still think you're a genius. So
you visibly see the color drain from his face.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You see the door is just like blends in with the wall, but you can see it's like in the old cartoons where like the background like is animated, like so you can tell it was gonna move.
Like, yeah. It's like a square. It's like
like the wall is gray,
dark.
but the door is
like do that would always piss me
exactly off. Like the wall is gray stone or whatever, but the door is like slightly lighter gray stone, so you can tell that like there's a door shape there.
Supposed to move.
Yep. So
is that it? Is that the one?
So can I see inside?
it's not open. It's like a
okay.
stone door. Yeah. Are
I'm
you guys
going
gonna
to
try to
look for
open
any.
it?
I'm gonna look for any pressure points or anything that would, make it move.
You
just knock on the door.
Go up to it and you feel around it, and it feels like it would like swing open into the room if you pushed on it.
Sure, why not? I'll play crack. I push it.
You push the door, and as you do, the Trident of Warning ability on Wave kind of alerts you all, like, be on your guard. And you are all transported into the combat room.
Nice job, well.
Roll initiative.
I like to think this room probably smells like some secret room
It's
that just like
probably-
never got opened. Something just living in here. Just like, oh, what is it? Oh, what is that? Like,
Should have knocked on the door, maybe it would have answered.
This room smells like 8 ghouls.
Oh, God.
smells like death in
Oh.
here.
Well, we are deaf.
Let's see here if we got any cool ghoul. Oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that's huge. Let's copy. Can I copy it?
Should be able to.
There we go.
8?
8. And I have no idea what the CR of 8 ghouls is, but hopefully it's not enough to kill you guys, so good luck.
Get your saving throws ready.
Need to go first.
They were all kind of lined up like these chess pieces in waiting in this square like storage secret room, floating around and kind of haunting this area. And let me see here. Ghoul, get the stats pulled up. Oh, these are easy. You guys can do this. Everybody's initiative, please.
19.
18.
19.
You can go first, Magic Man.
Thank you very much.
Grak has seriously like always rolled worse than you guys on initiative. He like always goes last. I'm not
He wants to
planning
see
it for
what-
that to be. Yeah, I guess it lets you guys kind of order him around how you wish.
Well, like plays into his character. He's just like he just doesn't even know what is going on.
Yeah,
He's like,
that's
oh, we're
probably
fighting
true.
now. Oh, like I thought they were our friends. Okay.
So you guys all get in here and you like begin to like plan your like battle against these ghouls, and then Grak's like, "Oh man, guys, there's a secret door." And then he comes in behind you guys and he's like, "Oh man, did you guys see that secret door?"
This is the worst secret ever.
Okay, you charge into the room and you did not get surprised because Wave alerted you, and Flack, you're up first.
I'm gonna cast Fireball.
Hell yeah. This, I've been waiting for
I
this.
figured
Can,
chaos bolts and, like,
so
blow
can
up
I
the
use this
fire.
sorcery point and cast 2 fireballs?
Does that
Oh my
work?
god.
I think that actually is how it works.
Let me look at sorcery points and see it. Can you dual cast a AoE spell? Twin spell. When you cast a spell that targets only one creature.
There you go. There you go.
So we're gonna need some
So
Sunglasses.
unfortunately, only one fireball. Or did you say
Okay, yeah.
firebolt?
No, I'm gonna do Fireball, but I can do Empowered spell, and I can choose to roll, re-roll a number of dice up to my charisma
Well,
mod.
fireball makes them do a save, so you don't even have to roll anything for fireball, unless you want to empower and re-roll
For the
your damage dice. You can definitely do that. So
It only works for the damage. So
Cool.
like if my damage rolls suck, I can like re-roll the worst ones.
okay, so let me write.
Up to 3.
I'll do get a different thing for each ghoul here, and I will make them make their saves. It's what is it? A dex save?
I don't know if it's Dex or Charisma.
It's fireball, definitely dex save. You guys just had to do that not too long ago, right? All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it was
dex.
Dex.
It's
It
dex
was
save.
Dex. It was Dex.
So they have +2 dex, just to let you know. So I'm not fudging these rolls here. Ghoul number 1, fail. Ghoul number 2, fail. Ghoul number 3, pass. What is your spell save DC, just so I know?
I think it's 14. Yeah, 14.
Okay, cool. So ghoul number 4, fail. Ghoul number 5, fail. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
6, fail. Oh my god. And 7, pass. So what was that? 3 and Oh wait, did I not do? I didn't do 8. Fail. Damn it. So
6 fail, 2 pass.
yes, 2 and 7 pass. So they only take half damage. So roll your damage, and then you're gonna obliterate the shit out of these guys.
8d6. Hey, those are wrong die. Don't discount those.
Okay. Oh, I think you rolled a lot. Hang on. 5, 6. All right, I'll just do the last 6 that you rolled because it's 8d6. Okay.
8d6.
Cool.
And I can re-roll the 3 lowest ones. So I'll re-roll. I think there's 3 ones that I have, so I'll re-roll those.
You're broken.
That's awesome. Yeah, fireball's like insane.
Oh my god, 7. Oh, 1.
Oh, you're rolling d8s there.
Yeah, both D8s.
Wrong dice again. Oh.
And then the last one.
Hey, that's pretty good. Okay, so you got a 5, a 1, a 1, and then let me go up here, and then you got a 4, 2, 3, 1, 3. Hang on, 4, 2, 3.
He re-rolled the 1, so.
Oh yeah, okay. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Could be 2 more 3s.
Okay, so that's a total of 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 22 damage.
Did you add the 2 at the end as well?
I have 5, 1, 1, 4, 2, 3, 3, 3. Does that sound right?
Then there's a 2. It was the last one.
Okay.
So it's 25.
Okay. So 25 damage to, let's see, all of these ghouls except for 2 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ghouls are burst into flames and die immediately.
It's my turn for fireball.
And the other 2 are lit on fire and they look really bad.
Alright, guys, it's your turn. I softened them up for you.
Softened them. You
Yes.
the entire room.
It is now Clack's turn. You just saw
The only way
this
it's possible for you guys. I
room
made
full
it
of
happen.
ghouls burst into flames and perish.
I was hoping to use wave today, but
I was going to use wow too.
Who
But I
needs
guess I
legendary
just
weapons when
pull
you
out
have
the-
regular spells?
Yeah, right.
I'm still waiting for my legendary weapon, guys. Come on.
You're already broken. You're like a
Give
Zodiac.
me a chance. Give me a chance.
Yeah, yours
I
is
pull out
called
my
Fireball.
longbow and I guess split the attacks between both of them.
Cool, yeah. Fire away. Make an attack roll.
So that's the first one.
Hit.
The second one.
Hit. Roll damage on both of them. Alright, they're both dead.
Well,
That was definitely
sorry,
not,
Brack.
not meant to be a particularly difficult encounter. Just a room full of surprise ghouls. That's actually perfect that you guys finished it off so quickly because we're at the end of the stream here. But damn, Fireball's overpowered.
Well, you showed us the power when you used it on us.
Well, that's another thing that like my favorite thing about D&D is like when you're learning how to play this game and you're playing with a group in real life, a lot of time people will like get pissed off at the DM because they're like using overpowered stuff against them, you know? But I like to do that kind of stuff to show you guys like you can also do that, or if you come up with a really creative, cool idea for using your abilities in a way that might not really be like following the rules, but it's like cool enough that we want to do it anyways, then I'll also allow the monsters to do that, you know? So it makes the game way more dynamic and interesting. So I think that's really cool.
I didn't even
think
realize
that's
it
a better
does
way to play,
half
yeah.
damage.
Yeah, if they save, then they still take half damage, which
It's
is
just like
insane.
you take damage. You just like, oh, you rolled well. It doesn't matter. You take damage.
Yeah, that's why those
Either-
type of
either
attacks, like spell saves instead of spell attacks, are really powerful because they almost always still do something, even if they miss. You know?
Yeah, it's actually crazy.
Yeah, Fireball's like they purposely made that spell overpowered because it's like the iconic D&D thing. You know, like you break down the door and you cast Fireball. Like everyone wants to do that, so when they do it, they want it to be
Reaching
impactful. You know,
Fireball.
so. That's really cool. Then that's why it's like a higher level spell, so you can't do it all the time. But once you get to like a certain level, you can just like spam fireball, and it's insane. But I will also try to design the encounters so that you are not just like given a giant room of closely packed in monsters. So
No, that's my only strength.
yeah. Well,
It's like,
you
oh
guys,
god, a group.
That's like literally all I have.
you nailed it. I thought that was awesome, but we are gonna have to end it there. I think that was a good ending point. So next week we will continue on the final of the 3 wings of White Plume Mountain, and we'll see how
We
far
don't
you
get
guys
to
get
check
into
out
it.
the room. We don't get to see if there's anything in
There's
the room?
nothing in here.
What is this secret room full
I
of
mean,
ghosts?
you blew it up anyway.
Yeah, it looks like there was like maybe a wooden chest full of like boundless riches, but it's melted into the floor and gone now.
Boundless
Oh.
riches melted into the floor.
And you can see a little metal sign that says like chest of infinite gold, but it's all melted and gone.
Greedy-ass ghost.
That's
Kept
cruel.
ordering
Wade just laughing in my head hysterically.
Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you guys. That's funny. It's just like an empty storage room that these ghouls have kind of taken over to ambush passersby. And that's where we'll end it for today.
All right.
So
It's the Scooby-Doo room where they like hide people when they kidnap them.
exactly. You guys did awesomely. I hope you all had a good time, and I can't wait already to come back next week and keep going with this. So after next week, I imagine you'll probably finish this next week. So I will get started on working on the next phase of the main quest line of the Elder Council campaign. I'll get you, Dr. Feargood, all caught up on everything there, and then so next week we'll finish White Plume Mountain, and then the week after we will get back to the main storyline. You guys will get back to the main crew, and we'll introduce our new character in the main storyline.
I can't wait for my
Awesome sauce.
legendary weapon.
Heck yeah. So at the end of this, like, assuming all of the goblins survive and everything, you will eventually, the goblins and your real crew will meet back up in Aegis, and you can distribute your loot throughout your real party, or you can keep it on the goblins, or whatever you guys want. And I think at this point, we'll keep the goblins as like every once in a while, like maybe every couple levels, you guys will go on a goblin adventure, if that sounds like fun to you guys.
Yeah, cool.
It'll be fun.
Cool. So we will end it off there tonight, and I'll see you guys next week.
Okay.
Was a
Bad.
blast.
Cool. Thank you guys.
Later.